Thank you for tuning into the I'm Not Emotional podcast. My name is Javier, and a lot of the subject that we discuss on this podcast can fit under the categories of sexually orientated content, suicide, suicidal thoughts, self-harm, drug and alcohol abuse, physical, sexual, and verbal abuse as well. Now, please know if you are feeling suicidal in any kind of way, please reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 800-273-8255. Again, that number is 800-273-8255. A lot of the material that we discuss on this channel is not suitable for young viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Good morning. Today is September 18th, 2021, and today I have a guest on. It's Carlos. What's your last name?
VERA.
Carlos VERA. Carlos VERA, you've been doing theater for how long now?
I started doing theater in 2014. I took my first intro to acting class. But my first play was 2015.
Yeah, that's how we met. We met through Grapes of Wrath, which is a fantastic show.
Yeah, but John Spitzer.
Yeah, John Spitzer directed it. It's weird because I went from the first show I did, which was All the Timing by David Ives at BC, and then going into community theater right afterwards and seeing the huge difference in like professionalism.
Right.
And it was kind of bananas. I was like, I remember during not the interview, what do you call it, when you first get together for the read-through.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this and that. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And I slipped up and I said, this is my first, like, professional, my first professional kind of theater thing. That everybody's like, what? You're getting paid?
Yeah, I was like, none of us getting paid, dude.
Everybody's getting paid, dog.
Except John. John got paid.
John got paid for sure, yeah. So you've been doing theater for...
What is it, 6-7 years now? Around 6-7 years now.
What did you say? It's your great love?
What was that?
I said, like, the great love of your life.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a passion I have now. And it came out of nowhere, you know what I mean? I took that acting class for fun. I was taking summer school, and I wanted to take something fun. And I saw that. I was like, theater, intro to acting. I was like, okay, this might be fun. But it was every day because it was summer school. So I went Monday through Thursday for 4 hours a day for like a month and a half. And by the second or third day, you know what I mean? I just had a blast. It was a lot of because you play a lot of games and stuff, a lot of like improv games and theater games and stuff.
They don't get real too deep right away.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then we ended the class. The final was like a little 2-minute scene, a 2-person 2-minute scene. So that was a lot of fun.
Who was teaching the class?
Bob Kemp.
Bob Kemp.
Yeah, Professor Bob Kemp. He used to be the artistic director at the Empty Space Theater here in town.
Yeah, that's a good theater. I've been wanting to do a show there.
It's a really good theater, dude.
Yeah. So, with it being your great love in your life, and you're leaving for 28 fucking weeks, how are you gonna manage? You just gonna do skits in your room, dog?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I might, on our downtime, if like I'm with the crew and we're chilling like in the mess hall or something, maybe for fun. If we're bored, I'll whip up a script or something. It's like, let's just perform a little quick play or something, for fun.
You're
I don't know.
That guy, dog.
Yeah, I will be that guy, dude. I'll find some reason to keep doing it, or
you'd be playing Emilio Estevez in your room, dog, like for fucking Apocalypse Now. And you're just like, oh yeah,
right.
And all I hear is the screams.
Look at me, I'm the captain now. But I'll find a reason to do it. Like we meant the other day when we had a few drinks. You mentioned I could be a new person every week. One day I'm Italian. The next day I'm like, oh, je vous parle français.
Yeah, dude, make up some fucking language or some shit. Where you from? I'm from Kakistan.
Yeah, right. I'm Borat, dude. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Naughty.
Don't turn me into a doll.
Yeah. So, for whoever's listening, you're going to be working on a cruise as a server. 28 weeks. 28 weeks. Did give you a good hint about where you're going to be going and what you're going to be doing?
No, not yet. I fly to Connecticut for training on Monday, and then for a few days, and then on that following Friday, they'll appoint me to a ship. So I could be anywhere from the Pacific Northwest. I can be New England, Florida, or up the Mississippi. I could be on various rivers in the United States, you know.
You ever been on a boat for a prolonged amount of
No,
time?
the longest I've been on a boat, a small boat in Mexico, was probably for like 2 hours, dude.
I worked on a processing boat in the Aleutian Islands in Chicknick, Alaska. And so we went from Tacoma all the way up through the those islands and channels right off by Washington and shit. We went through Canada, and then we went and crossed the whole Gulf of Alaska to go to the Aleutian Islands, which is that strip of islands that kicks out. We're in the damn near in the middle, and it was 8 days.
8 days?
8 days to get out there, and then when we were there, we're docked.
Right.
And then the boats come up and we suck the fish out. So that, I don't think that would count. Of course, you know, there's like water gets a little choppy, but on one day we're out in sea for the full day, and it was the middle of a storm, and we laid in our bunks, and our bunks are 6.5 feet by 2 feet, and they're like about 2.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So you're laying down in this bunk, and I was like parallel, or I was perpendicular with the length of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So I was laying like starboard or port side, and these waves, dude, they would pick the ship up, and then they'd come crash it.
And you would feel it.
You would slide up and down inside your bunk. You're sliding up and down a bunk. Dudes that were up on top, the second bunk, the top bunks, some of them would be falling off depending on like what angle and direction their bunk was, and it was insane, dude. It lasted all night. It lasted for like 6 fucking hours. I put the leveler on my phone. You know, you get the iPhone, you get the leveler, and I put it up against the face
to see where
it's at, and it went all the way to like 36, and then back down, and it'd go all the way up to like 42, and then 36, and then 42. So we're talking like, here's like perfectly level, right? Here's the boat, and it would pitch about that much, and then come back down, and then pitch like this, and then every once in a while it would lift up the front end, the nose of the boat, and then it would slam down, and you'd feel it like in your back and shit.
Did you ever get seasick?
You would get. I think you're too terrified to get seasick.
Really?
Yeah. So there was about 80 people on the boat, and you could hear a mouse fart. How quiet everybody was, dude.
Because during the storm.
Because everybody's terrified.
Right.
Everybody's fucking
saying
terrified.
their prayers.
Even the fucking guys they've been doing it for like 15 seasons, because it's a seasonal thing. You look at them, bro, and they're white in the face.
Right.
And you're like, all right, so I'm probably gonna die.
Right. Everybody's trying to text their mom last message.
You're in the middle of the ocean, dog.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Right.
Yeah, the boat starts taking on water. It's over, dog.
Right.
It's over.
It's like Titanic stuff.
What would you do if the boat was sinking, dog, and you had like,
oh man,
help's not coming? Help could come.
I would just accept it, dude.
I'd probably start out praying. Right?
Yeah, pray. They say your life flashes before your eyes. You know what I mean? So I'll probably be thinking about my whole life and stuff. But
I'll probably take a shit.
I think you'd be too scared, dude. You'll be freeze up.
But I think isn't there like a natural instinct where you?
Because you'll take a shit when you die. So as soon as your brain cuts off.
Yeah, but I don't want that to happen.
It's gonna. But it'd be for the fish, though, dude.
It'll be for the fish.
Feed the fish, you know.
Fuck that. My poop's gonna be in the toilet on the boat at the bottom of the ocean.
That's what they find. when they send some scuba divers down there, dude.
It's like this guy was tense.
Yeah, a log in the ship. That's how they know like what the crew ate and stuff.
Yeah, like fuck, dude. This poor bastard loved corn. Yeah, dude. So you're gonna be out there for 28 weeks.
28 weeks. Never been away from Bakersfield that long. Never been on a plane. Be first time on a plane. First time on a ship like that. But I think it's a cool experience, opportunity. Maybe make some money, save some money, travel, see some places. Hopefully, I can network with some nice people. You know, meet like a producer or something, some Jewish guy, and he's like, you know, here's my card, kid.
Here's my card. Yes.
Yeah, some Hollywood, some Weinstein or something.
Yeah, dude, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. Damn, dude, 28 weeks is a long time.
Yeah, around April. I'll be back around April.
It's a little terrifying.
Yep. But you know, I was talking to someone the other day, and the way they put it is like, but you know, there's an end date. You know what I mean? You know, there's a day that it's gonna end. If like it gets overwhelming and you're getting burnt out.
Sure. For me, my issue was getting homesick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you considered being away from your family?
Yeah, but I don't. you know, I don't think I'll necessarily get too homesick. You know, I'll probably miss the town, but I'm not really like a huge family guy. Like I don't see my family every week like a lot of people. You know what I mean? I don't go have dinner and stuff like that. It's kind of just, you know, I have a big family, so if there's a birthday party, sometimes I go to one. But I know there's gonna be another one, you know, in a couple weeks. So
How was your relationship with your family?
it's pretty cool. I have my immediate family. This is my father, and my mother, and I have two sisters. I'm the middle child, so I have an older sister and a younger sister. And we're pretty cool for the most part. Like we get along, we talk. There's no beef or anything, but it's apparent that I'm like the black sheep. You know what I mean? They say the middle children usually are, but I'm for sure the black sheep. I was always different. You know, I always got in trouble growing up. Everybody else always kind of like fell in line and they listened and they did what they were supposed to do. But I was kind of the rebel. You know, I was always the rebel out of the family.
How does that work out with your relationship with your dad?
Well, growing up, it's a lot better now. But growing up, it was a little strained, I would say, especially when I started acting out. Like when you're a lot younger, it's different because you don't really disobey a lot like that. But it's just, you know, my dad's traditional conservative Mexican man, you know what I mean? So he never really got, I feel like when it comes to my father, he never really knew how to be there emotionally. You know what I mean? He was there physically, he was present, and he could be the disciplinarian, but he was never really there for like guidance and stuff like that. So I feel like that's something that's kind of carried over to when I started being a rebel and I started acting out and stuff. But, you know, the little backstory in him, I can't really fault him too much because he's from Mexico and he's the third oldest out of 11 siblings, but he's the only bastard child out of all of them. Oh, shit. Yeah, he's the only bastard child while their father was out in the military, the Mexican military. My grandmother, I guess, slept with someone in the rancho, and he's like the rancho drunk, dude. You know what I mean? I met him once, and he looks just like my dad, dude.
Your grandpa?
Yeah, my biological grandpa. I never met my other one because he passed away when I was like 2 from like lung cancer. But the man I met, I was 10 years old. We went to Jalisco for Christmas, and there he was, dude. He looked just a clone of my dad, drunk as fuck. Yo soy tu grandpa. I was like, what the fuck, dude? He gave me 20 pesos. I was like, nice, dude. And then I was 10 and my sister was 11. And he's telling her, he's like, oh, yeah, come back for your quinceañera and I'll buy a cow today. And then when you come back, we'll slaughter and we'll eat it and we'll cook it for your quinceañera and stuff like that. But the last I heard of him, he's gone. But he's known to just like walk home from a party in the rancho and like steal someone's chicken for dinner. You know what I mean? He'll just take someone's chicken and then go and kill it and cook it, dude.
Fucking drunk,
dude. Yeah, nah, so that's my genes right there, man. That's what I come from.
Tortured souls, dog. It's a hereditary thing, man.
But back to my father, things started getting strained because I started gangbanging. You know what I mean? Around 12, 13 years old, I started going into that lifestyle. My cousins were doing it, and I just got involved. You know what I mean? And I don't blame MySpace, but MySpace helped a lot. You know what I mean? Just because it's like not propaganda, but you get so much of like people's art and graphic arts, and you see like, you know what I mean, people like music videos and stuff. Yeah,
there's a lot more influence, especially as a young, easily influenced young man. It's easy to be exposed to that stuff and want to fall into it.
Right. Yeah. And so I just started trying to be down. You know what I mean? And to be down, you kind of have to disobey your parents, especially if they're like traditional Mexicans. Like
right, and you got to be a little hard too. It's like that shit where you're like, what am I doing right now? Is this fucking hard? This ain't hard, bro. I need to be.
I can't play Pokemon, dog.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I gotta go bang on these streets, tag a wall or something, you know. But so for those few years, it was out of control. You know what I mean? I would ditch school. I'd get high. You know what I mean? My dad caught me and my cousin smoking weed once. He came home from work early. He's supposed to be gone for the whole week, and he comes home Monday, dude. And we're sitting in my living room, hotboxing it at like 9 a.m. And
you're smoking in the house?
Yeah, in the house like an idiot, dude. Because we were too scared to smoke outside. People were going to see us.
And yeah, you're smoking inside the house.
That same day, we tried to hit a lick on somebody, dude. We tried to, like at an apartment complex, or like trying to get the like PS2 or something. But
trying to get his PlayStation.
Yeah, dude, but my dad came home and just beat my ass in front of my cousin. My cousin's a little older than me. He had a car. He was old enough to have a car, right? And he just took off. He lived in Shafter. He just drove off. He had my pipe, too. And I was like, where's my pipe, dude? After, he's like, I threw it in the freeway. I was like,
damn,
dude.
lost canless.
Yeah. It's one of those old school metal pipes that you could take apart.
Yeah. I remember those. For sure. You can get them for like $3 or like $10 or whatever. Yeah, dude. So you were smoking weed with your cousin in the fucking living room.
Mm-hmm.
That's bananas.
Blasting Mr. Capone or Mr. Criminal or something. You know what I mean?
Mr. Capone, yeah. Dog. Mr. Criminal, dog.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, dude. High school, bro. For me, it was high school. Mr. Capone being hard.
Yeah.
Pants.
Yeah.
Wearing shirts with like the Bloody Mary, holding guns and shit.
Right,
it's
right.
Like goofy shit, dog.
The Lokes, dude.
Yeah.
The shaved head.
The bandanas.
Yeah.
The white Kansas City Royals hats.
Mm-hmm.
You were fuck with those?
KC, dude, for
KC,
sure.
dog,
Fuck Kansas City. It's KC, dude.
KC, Kern
County.
County.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, dog. Oh, man. It's interesting how we're different today opposed to who we were just 10 years ago.
Oh, man.
It's bananas, right?
When I was 18, because I'm 28 now, when I was 18, I was done gangbanging. I stopped like around 16, 17, but I was still around the culture, the people. I just wasn't claiming a set, and I wasn't getting in fights over a hood, but I was still out in the streets. I was still burning foods, you know what I mean? Trying to steal someone's bike. You know what I mean? I was still involved in that kind of lifestyle. And that's when I started tweaking. I started tweaking at like 17 to 20.
Damn.
Yeah. And then that made me a little worse. So I wasn't gangbanging anymore, but I was like a criminal, you know what I mean? And so that was kind of like and like you said, I'm completely different than when I was 18, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's almost like a testament to like who you're going to be in 10 years.
Right.
How you see yourself now.
Right.
And so
that's true. I never really thought about that. I wonder how I'm going to be when I'm 38.
Yeah, and how you're going to think of yourself.
Right.
At 28.
Right.
You're like, man, I was a fucking idiot.
For sure. But that's every year, you know what I mean?
But it's interesting. What am I doing now that I don't think is fucking stupid, that I will think is fucking stupid?
Right.
Maybe it's like I'm not taking care of my weight.
Right.
Maybe at 38, I'd be like, man, I fucking should have took care of my weight a long time ago.
Yeah, my health.
I should have took care of it then. So maybe that's probably mine. You think you got one?
Oh, I got a lot, dude. About health is one. You know what I mean? My weight, but not even that. Like recently, I quit smoking weed. Like I don't really drink as often. But like I really want to focus on maintaining my brain. You know what I mean? Keeping my brain cells and staying sharp because dementia runs in my family.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, my grandma has it right now. So I don't want to be, and my grandpa too, my mom's side. So I don't want to be 70 years old, slipping it, you know, having my mind slip away from me. So I want to stay sharp. I want to keep my mind as sharp as I can. And even my teeth, dude, I haven't been a dentist in a long time, and like my back tooth is kind of bugging me right now. So if my breath is killing it, I'm sorry, but
no, you're good, dog. I can smell shit.
But I have like a taste in my mouth, dog. You know, so like I want to go to the dentist. So maybe there's a dentist on the boat. I was like, check out my tooth, dude. It doesn't look bad, but
do dentists go on cruises, dog?
I hope so. They better have a medical thing on there, you know.
Just like sign up, be like, yeah, I need a new kidney.
Yeah, right.
I don't got insurance.
Yeah,
now I do.
Get one of the passengers' kidneys, dude.
Heck
this guy has 10 years. Let me get his kidney.
Get your kidney, dog.
Yeah.
Oh man, getting high, dude, was kind of a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, I smoked weed. I recently stopped, but I started smoking weed at 13. The first time I got high, I got jumped into the gang, dude. So the first time I was high, I got beat up by a bunch of older dudes.
So now you got this phobia, terrifiedness, right?
And then when I got high with my cousin, my dad beat my ass, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know. It always came hand in hand, you know what I mean? Like, especially like when you're with the homies and you're younger and like there's something's going to happen. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a rumble. Everybody gets high before. And then I don't know why, because that shit just made me more anxious, dude. It calms people down, but I'd be like super stressed out. Like, oh man, now I'm high and like super alert.
Tense.
Yeah, intense dude. And stuff.
And they're supposed to be like a meditative thing, you know?
Right.
Now that we're older. And
oh,
we
for
understand
sure.
It. But like, for me, dude, I never really liked tweak that much. I never liked crystal. It was always opioids.
Right.
Oh, dude, that's like the most magnificent
really
thing in the world.
I never really dug those. In high school, we would snort Norcos in class, dude. Yeah. We'd crush up Norcos in class and snort them, and I would have the horrible, like the worst feeling, get like hiccups, you know, or that itch, that twitch you get and stuff, your nose and stuff.
The drip, yeah.
Yeah, I never, well, not the drip, but just like my nose would like itch, you know what I mean? But, and I would just feel sick, and I never liked it. Like, I never tried heroin. I had a lot of homies, you know, go down the deep end with heroin and stuff like that. And I never been wanting to try because of that.
Yeah.
But tweaking's not that fun either. I don't like being up, you know. Cocaine was fun when I did cocaine.
Cocaine was fun. It was just goddamn expensive.
Yeah.
You'd almost have to be like a criminal
to support it.
Just to support it.
Yeah, to support it.
So I think one of the main reasons why I never liked crystals, my parents had me on Adderall from
Okay.
like 6 to 12.
Right.
So I took it every day.
So you were familiar with amphetamines? And
Yeah,
stuff.
dog.
Yeah.
For real. And I think it has a lot to do with like sometimes my brain misfires a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I think sometimes I struggle socially,
Right.
and there's a lot of like self hatred there sometimes.
Right.
And that's from the 6 years of fucking taking meth.
Really?
For sure.
So do you think now, where you are now, you think you still struggle socially now compared to when you were younger? Like, would you say you were more introverted back then, or you just?
I've never really been introverted,
But it's just you.
I've been so outroverted that I'm kind of annoying.
Right. You didn't pick up on like social cues of like
I just kept going.
overbearing and stuff. Yeah.
Overbearing, and then I would be rebellious in social situations. Where
Right.
people be like, "Dude, you're annoying." I'd be like, "Fuck you," and then
Right.
I'd go like, balls to the wall, bro. I'd take
Right.
it to level 10.
Double down on that.
I'll double down. Yeah, and it was just like, and then people just didn't want to be around me as a kid,
Right.
and I was just like, well, yeah, dude, I'm fucking on meth, bro.
Right.
I'm fucking 8 years old.
Right.
I've been trying to like, I don't know, I'll be taking twice the amount of pills.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be doubling up, and then I would lie to the psychiatrist and say they weren't working anymore.
No
And
way.
so they would
Get a
like,
higher dosage
they
and
would get
stuff.
higher dosages.
Wow.
And then finally they give me the highest dosage, which was the capsules, the beige ones, the double beige capsules. And then I wouldn't take them on the weekends, so I'd save them for the week, and then on a special day I'll take 2,
Right.
and then I'll be fucking fried, bro.
Right.
I'll be watching Scooby-Doo, just like thinking about the universe.
You solved the mystery, dude, before then.
Solve the mystery, dog.
Yeah.
What we were trying to picture Velma naked.
Oh yeah, dude. That was the hottest one, dude.
That was for
Fuck
sure the
Daphne.
hottest. Fuck
Daphne
Daphne,
could kiss
goofy
my
bitch.
ass, dude.
Goofy bitch.
Yeah. Fuck you. Velma all the way, dude.
Yeah. So you a big Scooby-Doo fan?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I fucking love Scooby-Doo.
The animated movies were cool.
Animated movies are cool. Even the
live action one.
live actions are the shit.
My
bro.
favorite one is I can't remember what it's called, on Scar Island. The one with the cats, dude. The people turn into the cats. You
Yeah.
remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was my favorite one, dude. That one was crazy.
I like the vampire rock and roll band. one.
Okay, yeah.
And then Kiss did a compilation with Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is the
Yeah.
shit.
Or
dog.
did you ever watch a pup named Scooby Doo?
Yeah, dude, that shit was cool too.
Yeah, it
man.
was. Yeah.
Scooby-Doo, man. Fuck yeah. I think us cholos, dog.
Yeah, dude.
Ex-cholos, bro.
They love Scooby Doo.
We got our Scooby-Doo
The
tats,
Shaggy
dog.
and Scooby, dude.
That's our set. We got a rep, dog. It's
Yeah, right.
Scooby-Doo.
SD, fool.
SD, fool. SDKFC, dog. Scooby-Doo Kirk County. So you've so how long would you say you've been clean?
Of meth?
Yeah.
Fuck, the last time I smoked, I was 20. I remember the exact day when I said I'm going to put it down. You know, I was like, it just felt gross. I never went off the deep end with it. There were a few times where I had a few binges, but like, I'd always let myself sleep and recover. You know what I mean? And like, it would happen spontaneously. Like, I never was like chasing a sack all the time.
Right.
But one time, the first time I did it, dude, one of my older homies, dog, trying to turn me out, dog. He's just trying to make me to his little street minion, you know what I mean? Help him, you know what I mean? Help him do shit, hit up licks and stuff like that. The first time I smoked, it was like a fucking meth bong, dude, like a water bong out of a Snapple bottle.
Jesus
like a
Christ.
32-ounce Snapple bottle, dude. So I was like, I got lit. I threw up right after. I was like, blah. And then he took me to some house, dude. It was a really nice house. And then when you walked inside, hoarders, no plumbing, no electricity, dude. And we were sitting down there getting high with some dude and this prostitute, dog. And I didn't know she was a prostitute until two Johns came to the door and picked her up and dropped her off like 30 minutes later, dog. Ooh. Yeah, and then like they were trying to share their pipe with me, but my homie's like, "Nah, don't touch that pipe. We'll share this pipe. They can smoke that pipe and shit." I was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Oh, that's why. It's gonna come back with herpes or something, you know?" Yeah, dude. Dog. But this lady, she was so ecstatic about. She's like, "We're gonna turn you to a smoker." Yeah, dude, like an old witch, dude. It's like an old fable or something, like a scary movie, like just trying to turn me out. Like, "We're gonna my pretty." I was like, "Damn, dude." But,
yeah, dude, misery loves company. Man.
I know, that's exactly what it is, dude. Especially they love turning out younger dudes or younger women, you know what I mean? But the last time I did it, I just saw my friend, dude, one of my best friends, and he was just getting hooked on this shit. He was getting hooked, and I just saw his face and body like deteriorate.
You start to age,
and he like was getting in trouble with the law, dude. And like just the way he was thinking, he was getting that psychosis, you know, getting paranoid about everything. We got into a big fight. You know what I mean? He threw a metal ashtray at my face, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, because he was yelling at his parents, right? And I called him out. I was like, dude, you're acting like a little hoe, dog. Stop yelling at your parents. And there was a little ashtray right there. And he threw it at me, dude. And it was kind of comedic, too, because when he threw it at me, there was a butt in my mouth. I was like, and I spit it out, dude. Sorry. But yeah, dude, so it was kind of funny now that I look back. But we're cool now. I saw him yesterday. But like, I rushed him, dude, and he ran and grabbed the kitchen knife. And then his older brother's in a wheelchair. And he was running over his feet, got in his way, you know what I mean? Because he was gonna come at me with the kitchen knife, dog. But
damn, bro.
it got a little crazy. But that was the moment when I was like, I'm not gonna fuck around with this shit anymore. You know what I mean? It's gross. I felt nasty. I felt gross. I didn't like the way I thought on it. But so I'd say 8 years. It's been 8 years since I've done it.
That's good, man. 8 years is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I went to rehab when I was 16.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
For what?
For opioids, pills, and shit.
Yeah.
And then spice and smoking weed. And smoking spice was gnarly.
Yeah, I used to smoke that too.
Smoking spice was the worst fucking shit, man.
Every time when I was smoking, I would drink. I would get stuck, dude. Like my whole body would shut down, but my mind wouldn't. Like I had to keep my eyes closed, or I'd get dizzy. I'd get like the spins. And I remember one time I was playing like Smash Brothers on the GameCube with my friend, and he was smoking a lot of spice. And I would let him like talk me into hitting it because he was trying to clean up, but I would smoke weed still. And he'd be like, just hit the spice bowl with me. And then I would, and I'd be drinking. And I remember one time I was playing, and I'm just like, whoa. And I laid down on my friend's carpet and for like 5 hours, dude. Awake in my head, but I couldn't move my body. And I woke up, and there was a glass of water like this far away from my nose. That's how I know I didn't move an inch for 5 hours because I got stuck off that spice, dude.
Dude, spice is no bueno.
Poison.
I actually had one of my most profound experiences was because of spice.
Right.
I had smoked spice. So I was working in McFarland, my grandpa's ranch during the summers.
Mm-hmm.
And so since I went to school, elementary school in McFarland, I knew some guys on the street, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was the twins, and I'll go hang out with the twins and the guy across the street, and they one of them was like, I knew the twins because they're the twins, and then there was like the other guy I didn't really recognize, but they apparently knew me and they remembered me. It was like a nostalgia thing. And so I'd go after work because I was sleeping at my grandpa's house for that whole month. And we'd go smoke weed and hang out, drink some beers. I was probably like 16.
Right.
And then their connect, this is before I was like, hey, I got no weed, but I got some spice that I made myself. And I was like,
you made it?
Yeah, dude. So you can buy the can of the spray.
Oh, man.
And so he would just get like incense and just like fucking spray the incense with fucking the spice spray.
It's gross when you think that that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. And so we're like, yeah, fuck it, blah, blah, blah. And we're inside an El Camino in this guy's backyard that's on cinder blocks.
Did it run? I was about to say.
Yeah, it's on cinder blocks. Yeah. So we're sitting inside this El Camino and we're like fucking just smoking spice. And they're like, well, yeah, we're done. I was like, fuck, I'm going to finish this bowl. And so I grabbed the bowl and I cleared it. The ashes went into my throat, and then it was like an instant. I was no longer like conscious, or not conscious, but I was conscious. But for the next 20 minutes, I relived like one moment for like, it felt like it was eternity.
Right.
And then I got deja vu, and then I had forgot how long I'd been here.
Right.
So I thought I had died, and this is what hell was. It was just punishment, and you
relive it over the loop.
Right, but in the loop, but you're conscious because you know you're reliving it. So
right.
It's not just it starts over. So you're conscious, and it's going constantly, and stuff from like childhood, just like a snippet of a moment comes up, and then the future comes up, in the past or whatever. I think, and it's just like a total shuffle of instant moments.
Right.
So it's like blinking, and then it's like a loop, and you're like struggling.
Yeah, that's what it is, struggling.
And you're like, holy fuck, dude. How long have I been here? Oh, I've already been here 1,000 years.
Right.
This is my punishment. This is purgatory. This is my hell. And then I started like screaming and praying. I was praying. And I don't speak Spanish very well. And they're saying I was speaking perfect Spanish.
Really?
Yeah. Because my mom told me my first language was Spanish.
Well, for sure.
So I was speaking perfect Spanish. And I came to with my grandpa lifting me up off the ground.
Okay.
So I was like, I was in pain because I had fallen on like a bunch of 2x4s, and I was like on my knees on the 2x4s.
Right.
And I'd been
It's like ayahuasca or something, dude.
It was intense, bro. And my grandpa picked me up, and then because I was screaming my fucking head off, bro.
Right.
It was fucking insane. I thought I was dead, bro. I thought I was like in hell. And my grandpa picked me up, and they like walked me. I never spoke to those guys again.
Right.
And I went to rehab like 2 weeks later.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's what did it. That was the.
My parents didn't even know I was doing drugs.
Right.
They're talking to counselors like, we didn't even know he was getting high.
Right.
I was like, yeah, why would you find out?
Yeah, dude, spice is no joke. Drugs, when they give you when they put you on a trip like that, man, it's insane. Have you ever smoked like salvia? Remember that?
Salvia was weird.
Yeah, it was. It's short too.
Yeah, it's short. It's like 5 minutes, and it's a body thing.
Yeah. Well, my mind, I went into like when I smoked it once, I was in a room like this with my friends, and say someone was like right there to my left, but my whole dimension shifted like this. So anything that was on this side of me was on the ground. So it looked like my friend was falling off the edge of the universe, dude. So I'm all tripping out. I'm in a room with a bunch of people, and my friend to my left is like falling off the edge of the universe. And I'm like, hold on to my hand, dude. I was like, grab my arm. And I was like, why isn't anybody helping? I was like, oh, like, trying to save him, you know? But, and then like when you come out of it, it's like kind of like for me at least, it was like, you know, like an abrupt shift. But drugs are a trip, dude, you know? But now I just try to keep my mind clean and healthy, you know. I'll probably smoke pot when I come back again for sure. But
do you find yourself slipping a little bit in terms of like trying to be keeping your mind sharp?
Yeah. Oh, my long-term memory is fucked, dude. Like I'll forget stuff that happened in the past, or like my short-term memory is good, and that's helped me with acting and theater. You know, I mean, I can memorize the script pretty fast, and like I'm a parrot, so like I can hear something once and kind of just repeat it and remember it and retain it. But what I can't remember is like stuff that's happened a long time ago. I can't remember, and I don't know why, but I can't remember text conversations. You know, if I have a conversation in person, I'll remember it. But if we have a conversation over text, over messages, I will not remember that shit, dude. Like if you're telling me important stuff, or I'm asking questions about you, and I see you in person, and I ask the same questions, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I already told you. I was like, when? Like in a message. I was like, oh no, dude, I'm not gonna remember that, dude.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna remember. I don't know why. It just goes in one, you know what I mean? It goes in and goes right back out. But in regards to other things, no, not really. Since I stopped smoking weed lately, I feel sharper, dude. Like I wake up at 4 a.m. I take cold shower. You know what I mean? I'm more motivated to do shit now. But before, when I would just smoke and wake and bake, I would just want to chill and not do anything.
Yeah, it's hard to have ambition.
Yeah, exactly. It's what it is, ambition. Or I'd get like, I wouldn't want to drive anywhere, so I wouldn't do my errands and stuff like that. And I would tell myself excuses like, just chill, fuck it, I'll smoke another bowl, you know, chill, play some video games, and do nothing. Especially since this whole COVID pandemic shit.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know if I get it from my dad, but not doing something all day is like,
it bugs you.
Yeah,
for sure, dude. Same thing. I get the same thing from my dad too. If I'm not being productive or lazy, you know what I mean? I hear that fool's voice in my head. You know what I mean? Throw out the trash, do something. Or it's fucking 3 p.m. and you haven't done anything. You know what I mean? And I hate that, dude. Sometimes that's something I'm trying to work with. I'm just like, nah. Sometimes I can just do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but
right. And you're trying to tell yourself that, and there's that voice in your head. It's like, yeah, but you could also be doing something right now.
And then like I feel like, you know, like sometimes, you know, they say you become your parents. Like if I see my friends doing that shit too, I'll do like a quick like, come on, bro, do something. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like I'm acting like my dad, and I have to like check myself. It's like, wait, hold on, you're not this was dad. You know what I mean? You're not your dad. You know, just lay off or whatever. You know, small things like that.
Yeah, and I definitely catch myself doing that. When my buddy was staying here, my buddy Diego, who's struggled with heroin his whole for some time now, I would come home from work. And it'd be like his day off, and he'd just like be high as fuck on the couch.
Right, and it bugs you for you don't know why.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, dude, before I'd leave in the morning, I'd be like, hey, what you got planned for the day?
Right.
And that sounds like my dad.
Right.
What you got planned for the day? Oh, I don't know. I was gonna go over there to the thing, and I have to go get my ID because, you know, people that get high all the time they lose their IDs every fucking 3 weeks. They're always losing their wallets. And he's like, yeah, so I gotta go to the DMV get my thing. All right, cool, dog. Might as well get going now.
Right.
That way you can get there early, and then you get all this shit done.
Right.
And
And it puts him in a weird place. He's like, fuck, dude. Like,
yeah, and he's just like, well, fuck. Like, I kind of wanted to do nothing today.
right.
I was like, well, why?
Right.
He's like, come on, dog, do something, bro. And you're like, I come home from work and like he's in the same spot.
It pisses you
where
off.
I fucking left. I was like, hey, what'd you do today? And he's like, oh, watching Shameless for the 30th time.
Yeah.
You're like, Jesus Christ, bud. You just like on Shameless on your phone all day?
Right. There is something annoying about that, but I'm also just trying to allow myself, like, just chill. Let people be whatever they want to be. I mean, it's different when like you're letting him stay here. You're helping him get set up and stuff with his life, and you see that he's not doing that.
Yeah.
But in general, you know what I mean? Like, I try not to carry over, like, my parents' negative stuff into my own thing, you know?
Right.
But, like, the negative stuff is, like, the stuff that's, like, that you're unconscious about. You know what I mean? That just slips out. You're like, oh, damn, that's something my parents would say,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, and you catch yourself afterwards.
Yeah, dude. And most of the time I hate it. I'm like, damn, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Or like when I'm driving and shit, you know what I mean? Like road rage in Spanish. I'm like, fuck. Damn it, dude.
You're your dad. Man.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be a trip. I'll like be hanging out with my cousins and I'll start talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start saying something. And then they'll stop me and go, dude, you sound just like your dad
I know.
right now. You're like, what?
I hated hearing that all the time.
It's like, if I close my eyes, I'd think it was your dad talking.
Right.
Like, I guess. Right on, man.
Right.
How are things going with you and your dad now?
Right now they're kind of cool, but we're not like buddies. You know what I mean? We don't beef or anything, but there was always a language barrier growing up, I feel like.
Mm.
But also, he was just always not cold, but he's always just a little distant. You know what I mean? We never had conversations. We never played together. You know what I mean? And but it's not that he's that type of person because he loves my cousin. He's a great uncle. You know what I mean? So fucking my cousins love him. And they're my tío Beto is like their favorite uncle and stuff like that. And because he's just as friendly as I am, you know what I mean? But when it came to his own son, it was a little different. It was always like
more pressure,
and more just like very, I don't want to say like military-esque like lifestyle, but it was, you know what I mean?
It's cold.
Yeah, always cold, you know. But like I mentioned earlier, I don't fault him because I feel like he doesn't know how to do it because he never got it. You know what I mean?
And not to mention, he for sure got a lot of coldness from his.
Oh, dude, he has
dad.
stories that he would get just beat up because he was angry. Because he was a reminder of his wife's infidelity, you know what I mean, all the time growing up. And he would tell me stories that he'd be playing marbles with his friends, and then his dad would just come home drunk and beat his ass in front of his friends for no reason, stuff like that. Or, like you said, coldness. He probably just got, like, the bun end of a stick all the time. All his other siblings got favorable stuff. And
he got scraps.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, you live a hard life. He dropped out of the third grade because he didn't have shoes. He was embarrassed to go to school because he didn't have shoes. He came here at 16 with his two older brothers to work in the fields. And then you just, you know, but.
So your dad's had quite a life, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'd say so. And that's why he would look at me. He's like, look at you, dude. You're comfortable. You have how many pairs of shoes do you have? You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing anything with yourself. At 16, I was gangbanging. And he's like, when I was 16, I had to fucking go through a coyote, scared as hell. You know what I mean? Hitchhike all the way to Fresno and work. And you know what I mean? Like work. And then from 16, I've been working ever since. You know, you're over here playing video games and you have juices in the fridge. You know, we didn't have that stuff. But so maybe, I don't know if there's any resentment, but I have a different life than he did. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I feel like that bugs him. And not anymore, but it bugged him a little bit. Because, like, I guess when you have a son, you expect them to kind of go through the same things you did to build the character that you want them to build. Mm-hmm. But when they don't, they're a little more cushioned. You know what I mean? It kind of, I don't know. I feel like it kind of bugged him a little bit.
How has that affected the way you see yourself?
At first, it was a little different because, you know, when you come from a family like that, they all expect you to be like tough and hard and machismo all the time. Mm-hmm. And I never really was that. Like, I was never really like soft or anything, but I never felt the need that I needed to put on like a big old masculine thing. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm masculine in some ways, it's just because I am, not necessarily because I'm trying to be. But a lot of the time, it was like I would stick it to them. You know what I mean? I'd be like, "No, dude, I'm gonna wear pink. What's up?" You know, and like I kind of stick it to them and my uncles, like, because most of the time I wouldn't agree with it. Like, not saying that like I'm super like, yeah, feminism, blah, 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 men can do whatever they want, but because it was more of like a rebel, you know what I mean? Like, they expected me to do a certain thing or act a certain way, and I would do the opposite, you know what I mean? But the way I look at myself, I don't know. I think it's once I became aware of it, it's allowed me to self-evaluate and just, you know, be comfortable with who I am and what I want to do and how I want to act and stuff, you know. But like even then, my dad's a lot more chill now than my mom. Like when I turned 18, my dad stopped giving me gripe and shit. You know, anything I did was okay. Any decision I made was okay. You know, since I was an adult, he was cool with everything. My mom was the only one who's like, why are you doing this? You should be doing this. You should be doing this. Like even when it clothes, like sometimes I wear shorts and they're not even that short. You know, my mom's like, you need to wear longer shorts. I was like, hell no, I want shorter shorts. This is the other day. I want shorter shorts. She's like, no, those are for girls. I was like, says who? She's like, men need to wear shorts to their knee. I was like, nah, hell no. You're stuck in the past, Mom. I need shorter shorts. You know, they need to show off these legs, you know? But my dad doesn't give a shit. My dad don't. I could come in wearing a dress. My dad would probably just look at me funny, but my mom would be the one giving me shit, you know? Not my dad.
Yeah, moms are always like that. Especially Mexican moms. They definitely always have an opinion on everything that they love to share, for sure.
But it's our relationships are different now. Like growing up, my relationship with my dad was more strained. We got into fights and arguments all the time. You know what I mean? For the smallest little thing, I feel like it's like we're kind of the same. So we'd butt heads, and my mom was always like trying to like protect me and defend me. And now it's the opposite. My mom's bugging me about shit. My dad's like, "Who can't stop?" You know what I mean? Stop. You don't talk to him like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like don't baby him or don't be too imposing on him. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of reversed now. But even then, we're still like not buds. You know, we don't hang out. We don't go get food together. He tries to invite me to places, but I'm always busy or always make an excuse. So he always like, almost at Oxnard, you know what I mean? You need to visit your tias and your tios and they want to see you and stuff like that. But like, it's crazy with him because when I'm around him, sometimes before when I was around him, he would just scold me and tell me what I'm doing wrong. But then I would hear that when he's with his family and I'm not around there, all he would do was talk about me and brag about me. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of weird thing. But it's like, I don't hear it. I don't hear it. That fool don't tell me he's proud of him. He don't tell me this shit. You know what I mean? But he'll tell everybody else. Oh, Carlos is doing this. He's doing this. I'm proud of him. But I never got that growing up. So that's what I mean about like the cold distance stuff. He wasn't there emotionally. He wasn't there like to support or like to lift me up or to raise me. It was just about this is what you don't do. Not about like this is how you need to go about life. This is what you need to do. You know what I mean? This is what you don't do. So when I would do something, it's like you don't do that. Right. But
so you being around him now is not just kind of a normal thing, right?
It's chill, yeah. You know what I mean? We don't, like I said, we don't talk. We don't chop it up. We don't have deep conversations. Now that I'm a little bit older, I try to ask him about his life, about growing up, what it was like crossing the border. You know what I mean? But even then, sometimes he'll keep it short. You know.
Yeah. Do you think you can change with like a little bit of effort? Maybe?
For sure, but I have to do it. I have to do the effort, which I get. I'm the son, you know what I mean? I'm the one who wants to do it, but I'm the one now who has, especially now because I'm brushing up on my Spanish enough to communicate instead of just like asking simple questions. You know what I mean? Basic stuff. I can get deeper with it. You know, but yeah, I have to do the effort. I feel like, or it's going to remain the same way. And then it's also, if I have a son, I don't want to do those same things. You know what I mean? I want to be the dad that I wish I had, you know, that I needed, you know, but.
Yeah. Right. Cause it's like, you take the positives from your father and you try to not redo the negatives. Right. The negatives is like, sometimes it could be like, just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Instinctual things.
Right. That exactly.
Kind of on you that you don't know how to overcome.
Right.
Like with my dad can be angry sometimes. He can be kind of like he yells a lot. And so it's kind of
my dad too. And so loud.
And so I don't like to be angry.
And I don't like to be loud. Yeah. I don't like to yell.
I'll be loud, but I don't like being angry at all.
Same here.
So if I don't think I've been angry and like angry probably in like 5-10 years.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get angry, bro.
I agree. I felt on the same way.
Yeah, like angry, like, because I think my idea of angry is different from other people.
It's rage.
It's rage.
Yeah, rage.
Rage, like I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna tear down this wall, break down doors, fucking tear the sink out of the fucking cabinets. Right. That's my idea of what anger is. Right. Not just like
upset, I'm a frustrated.
Upset. That's not angry. That's just a little imbalance. That's all. That's all I see. So, yeah, I'll never be screaming in someone's face.
Same here, dude. Yeah. And even then, if I'm upset with someone or if I'm like real emotional, I want to get my idea. I don't yell. even now, like I'll yell like when I'm having fun or when I'm on stage or something. But it's like if I'm really mad at someone, I don't have the urge to yell at them. I do more of like a soft, serious, like a short. You know what I mean? Like when I talk to someone, it's very like boom, 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 boom. It's not like I'm in your face screaming at you and stuff like But it's very clear cut. It's cold, kind of like a knife. It just like kind of cuts and it's done. And sometimes I feel bad about that because like I could be like when I'm sharp with someone. You know what I mean? Sometimes I wish I was a little bit more emotional because then they can give you the benefit of the doubt. Like he's just kind of. But like he's just kind of losing it right now. He'll get over it, as opposed to just like a sharp knife to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's just like it's like you're not saying things that are mean,
right?
But you're like, hey, shut the fuck up.
It hurts more.
Yeah, because you're just like, that's all your dad. That's all you'd be like,
right?
Hey, get the fuck off the counter right now.
Right.
Get off the counter.
Right.
Now. You're like, you're 4 years old. And you're like, get off the counter.
Right. Or like you spill something at the table and they're just like looking at you. They give you that look and shit. Like,
go get a towel.
What the fuck is wrong?
I said, go get a towel.
Right.
Then we'll get a towel.
Right. Yeah, dude. My dad has a very certain, like in my head, dude, I still have it to this day here. Carlos. You know what I mean? I'll be fucking just chilling. Carlos. I'm like, what the fuck? I need to throw out the trash, dude.
Yeah, for me, it's always just from the other side. I was Xavier.
Right.
Xavier. You're like, fuck.
Right.
Then I'm slowly walking into the room. What's up, Dad? You point at something that I destroyed.
Yeah,
it's just like, what are you doing, tearing shit up? You stabbing the couches again?
Right.
You're like, oh, sorry.
Stabbing the couches.
Stab the couches, dog. I don't know why.
Yeah. I used to light fires, dude. That's what I did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when we went to Mexico. Oh, my dad wanted to kill me, dude. Thank God for my tios, his brothers. They saved me, dude. But we went to Mexico and I burnt his padrino's property because I discovered matches and lighters and they would sell them to me at the little stores and stuff. Yeah. They would just give them to me 10 years old. They're like, here you go. And so I'd collect like trash and leaves, like dry brush, and just like start a fire. I'd put cherry bombs in a Snapple bottle, dude, and like let it explode, dude. I was a little menace, dude. But then I learned how to like make a stove. I get like 3 bricks, 2 bricks right here, 1 brick on top, put a candle, and then a bottle cap, light the candle, and then let it heat up. Put a little bit of wax in there and a drop of water, dude, and a big old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, and then I saw a big old haystack, and me and my cousins were there. We were racing to see who could light it on fire without thinking, dude, And I was like, I got the first light, so I was like, boom, and I flicked into that haystack, and then it was like a 7-foot haystack, dude, and I was 10,
Holy
so it
shit.
just burst into flames, and I'm over there with a water bottle trying to put it out, and then it was my dad's padrino's property, dude, and so like people had to come with buckets. It was like classic old school movie. They came with buckets to put out the fire, dude, like woo, and like putting it out,
like Little Rascals. Or
yeah, dude, yeah. And then we were having a festival, so people came out of town to set up like booths. You know, like where you pop the balloons and stuff like that. And they snitched on me like, fue el gordito. I was like, whoa, dude, whoa. And then my dad wanted to murder me, dog, because he was embarrassed. You know, his spoiled American kid coming to Mexico, his hometown, and just caught fucking shit up. You know what I mean? He has to pay a bunch of money that we didn't have for the property, you know what I mean, to reimburse them. And I just made the family look bad, dude. And he was pissed, dog. But my tios, they're a lot younger than him, like someone like 10 years 20 years younger than him. They were like, hey, relax. And I was right there like ready, dude. I was ready for that ass whooping, dude. I was like, let's go, dog.
Damn.
Yeah, I was a fucking menace, dude. I used to charge people to play my Game Boy.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude. I was always a scammer, dude, growing up. I was always like an opportunist. They were like, let me play. I was like, all right, it's 5 pesos an hour. You know what I mean? And they would, dude. Yeah, they would pay me, dog. Except one guy burned me. He ran off with my Game Boy. And then he came back. He teach me a lesson, but he came back and gave it to me later. But I was like, damn, man.
Damn, you're dirty, dog.
Yeah, dude, I was, right?
Why are you a little 5-year-old, dog?
Car salesman, dude.
Yeah, you want to play Pokemon?
Yeah, but that's why.
Press him at a Game Boy.
That's why now, you know what I mean? Man. I try to be as principled and have as much integrity as I can, you know what I mean? Like, I try to be by the book, you know what I mean? Because I've done it so much in the past. That I don't want to be that way anymore. So then when I see that in people my age, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool. Don't do that. Don't burn this food. Don't do this. You know what I mean? Like, if you say you're going to do something, do it, you know? But so like, I feel like I got all the bad stuff out when I was young. And then now I can just try to be good, try to be peaceful, you know. But
which is interesting because it's like, in terms of being a good man, now that you're seeing it from the perspective of someone that wants to be a good man, you realize how difficult it is.
right,
You think it would just be, oh, I just don't do bad shit.
it's a lifelong.
Like, nope. It's not
Yeah.
just the absence of negative. It's the effort for positive.
Right,
So
that's
you
true.
have to go out of your way and do
Water
good
the
things.
plant, you know,
You
water the seed.
plants, dude. And it's just like, I don't know how to be a good person, bro.
Right,
It's weird.
but you could try.
I can try,
Right,
but I guess I'll live my whole life trying to figure it out.
well, for sure. That's the goal. You know what I mean? Like all over the world, different religions, they have that golden rule. You know what I mean? You have Christianity or you have Buddhism. It's just like, just be good. You know what I mean? But it's not. I feel like humans are innately not bad, but we're innately selfish and we look out for ourselves, right? Because we're primates and we're mammals, so we want to feed ourselves. And then because we're a little bit more intelligent, we can think of like, we could be opportunistic. You know what I mean? We can think about opportunities of how to enrich our lives, but sometimes it comes to the cost of other people. And I feel if we're not aware of it, we'll do it. You know what I mean? Like CEOs do it. You know what I mean? Billionaires do that shit. You know, but if you're not aware of it, I think innately, unconsciously, that's what humans are like. You know, I mean, yeah, they want to help their community. They want to help your friends and the people that live around you. But what about the people outside of it? You know?
Yeah, because it's like, what's something that you could do, what we could do, that benefits the community with our skill set? Maybe it would be like, do like a community thing, go to schools and like, or I don't know, be like, hey, kids, theater might be a cool thing to do,
Right.
or something. But then again,
It changed my life, dude. You know what I mean? As soon as I started acting, I stopped hanging around with my old crowd. I stopped being in the streets. I stopped tweaking and stuff like that. And it's made me, and because the community, like, they kind of hold you to a standard. So you're like, oh, okay, I can't do fucked up shit if I want to be included in this world. You know what I mean? And sometimes I don't agree with it. Sometimes they're a little too much. I'm just like, well, okay, fucking, I'm not fucking. You know what I
Captain
mean?
Save-A-Ho.
Yeah, I'm not fucking Gandhi or fucking Mother Teresa. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna save every person on this planet, but
right, but at the same time, it's like you got to be careful
yeah,
because with so much ugliness in this world, it just takes one accusation.
oh for sure, dude.
And so you don't. I'm
Especially in
not
the
gonna,
climate we
I
live
don't.
in.
Yeah, it's like, so I'm not gonna be hanging out with fucking kids and shit.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I would love to go fucking go to, like, take some of their actor buddies and be like, hey, we're gonna go to school and like
Right.
do a little performance and then do Q&A with kids and maybe get them interested in doing theater.
Right.
But it's then you're like,
You just gotta be very careful as a man. I
Right.
feel like.
It's-
People
it's-
don't want to hear that. They're like, well, you know what I mean. It's like what cops tell people. Well, if you're not guilty, you're not doing anything. You have nothing to worry about. It's like, well, bro.
yeah,
You know,
it just takes one person to get the mob going.
Are you not listening? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not seeing what's going on in this world.
Yeah, and it's like it's like you hear it all the time. Guy taking care of his kids,
Mm-hmm.
and then people are like, "Oh, these your kids?" Or
Right.
"Oh, where's mommy today?" And
Or they
it's
look at like male preschool teachers and kindergarten teachers. They're like, that's a little weird. If
Yeah.
a woman does it, it's like, oh, okay, it's sweet and nurturing, and a man does it, it's like a little suspect.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, and it's like that. It even boils down to like when the dad's taking care of the kids, it's considered babysitting.
Right.
And so
Instead of just
parenting, It's
Right.
Like, oh, you're babysitting today. It's like, well, it's my kids.
Right.
Why would I be babysitting and just watching my kids?
Right.
So there's like a weird kind of.
But it's also like they say women are more attracted when they see a man do that stuff. So it's like, I don't know. It's like pick one. You know what I mean? You can't have both ways. You can't hate on someone for being a teacher. You know what I mean? And then like when you're like, wow, he's so hot because he's a dad. You know what I mean? It's like, what is it? You know what I mean? Is it creepy or is it not? You know what I mean?
I saw that movie Fatherhood, the Kevin Hart movie,
Mm-hmm.
and the premise of the movie is the wife dies at childbirth.
Oh yeah.
And so he raises a little girl, and then everybody's just thinking he can't do it. He's a
Right.
man.
Right.
Why don't you just let her go live with her grandparents? And you're
Right.
Like, doing your thing. You're like, what? Why would I do that? It's my kid, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah. So as a man, there's a lot of. It seems like nowadays there's more stuff you have to look out for.
Here in the West.
Here in the West, for sure.
Yeah, here in the West.
But I think it does give more opportunity for men to open up.
Right.
Because, I don't know, it gives us more of an opportunity to talk about these things.
Right. And that's ultimately what people want, right?
Right.
They say that men are too closed off, or men don't talk about their feelings or their emotions or their problems and their struggles.
Right. Which is kind of the main reason why I started doing this.
Right.
Is I have men on. I had my cousin on, but I had her on because of her relationship with men.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like men and the struggles of kind of being a man sometimes, bro.
Right.
And it can be a little fucked up. It can be
Right.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say it's not hard for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely, you go, oh, well, men can walk down a dark street at night and not have to worry.
Right.
It's like, sure, but
Right.
if we're on a boat, women and children first.
Right.
So everything has give and take.
For sure.
And it's
a balance.
Right. And being a balance. And also, it's like, as a man, you're going through the hardship. You're
right.
kind of, it's kind of,
right.
What's the word I'm looking for? You're kind of influenced to not reach out.
Mm-hmm.
People tell you to reach out, and then you have reached out, and then you get burned for it.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay, I'm not reaching out anymore.
Yeah. And that's what, and like even talking about this stuff, you have to like kind of like preface and be like, okay, I don't want to sound sexist and generalize, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like generally, like, and I'm saying this generally, okay, for the viewers out there, don't fucking cancel me or whatever. But when women say that they want men to be vulnerable with them and open up and stuff like that, right? And I'm sure there are a lot of women that do want that, but there are also certain women who, as soon as they see that kind of weakness in a man, it turns them off. You know what I mean? So like, you can be vulnerable with them and then just like, you're a little bitch, dude. You know what I mean? I can't believe you have these feelings. You're a human being. You have these normal feelings. How fucking dare you?
Yeah, you get kind of punished for them.
Exactly. And it's like, this is what you asked for, you know? So like, oh, just tell me the truth. Or you want me to be a cold asshole the whole time, you know?
Yeah, and it's a little unfortunate, and it's a learning curve.
Right.
For sure. So there's a balance there.
Right.
And then at the same time, just that chick might just suck.
Well, for sure.
As a person.
That's for sure.
And so I definitely met people women that I'm able to open up to.
Yeah.
And it was positive for the most part. There might be a little bit of lack of respect there.
But you can't blame a man for being cautious about it.
Oh,
you know
for sure.
I mean?
Yeah, because like I said, the reason why we're a little standoffish sometimes about opening up, a lot of it has to do with your experiences. Like for me, when I started going to therapy, and I learned that what my molestation when I was 5, how it had an effect on me.
Right.
I was super open about it.
Right.
I always kind of been an openish person. And so I would talk about it like it was no big deal. I'd be like, yeah, this. And then I've been talking to this with my therapist, blah, blah. And then like my close homies would get uncomfortable.
Right.
It's like, bro, we've been friends for like fucking 8 years.
Right.
Like, I can't talk to you about this stuff.
Right.
It's like, I didn't realize, like, it was like, I told him, I was like, dude, it's something that I never even spoke about out loud since I was 5.
Right.
And I just spoke about it, and I feel enlightened. I feel freed a little bit.
Opened up. Yeah, same here, man.
My corazon's like beating again.
Right.
And I can't talk to you about it, bro.
Right.
And just like, yeah, bro, I get it, but like.
Right. Because you also probably didn't think about it until you probably like turned 18, 20, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't realize the effect it out.
And then you're like, once you're an adult, you're like, and you see kids, and you're like, you know what I mean? You're concerned for them. You're like, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of an impact did that shit really have on me, you know?
Oh, for sure. And it definitely had to do with stabbing the couches and all that stuff.
Same thing with me. It's probably had to do with, you know, because I was too when I was young, you know? And it probably had to do with the fires and the acting out and stuff like that, you know? But.
Yeah. You ever seen that movie, sorry to change this up, Bustin' Loose?
No.
The Richard Pryor movie?
Uh-uh.
He's on a bus with a bunch of these kids, and the kids are all fucking psychos.
Right.
They're like, one likes to light fires.
Right.
Likes to fucking, the little girl, like, she likes to prostitute. And be like, dude, we'd definitely be on that bus.
Yeah, all those kids were molested. Bro. That's why. Yeah. I'm on the molested bus.
The molested bus. Dog.
Yeah.
It's not even short, dog.
Yeah, right.
It's a van.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Oh, it's a white van.
It's
dude.
a white van.
Fucking
bro.
puppies in there. Shit, candy.
The molested bus.
The molested bus, dude. There's a regular bus, a short bus, and there's the molested bus. Dude.
They pick up the kids at night.
Yeah. Oh, damn,
damn
dude.
it, dog. Oh, it's all bad. Yeah, dude, that shit's fucked up. And it's weird now. Like, I see my cousins with their kids, and it's just like, damn, dude, how could somebody, like, this is a pure child.
Right. I know, dude.
How could someone deface a child?
Right. Well, for me, the way it was with me, I wasn't hurt by an adult. It was by just a kid a little bit older than me, you know. But
Male or female?
It was a male, yeah. I mean, when I got a little older, they were older girls, but I wouldn't really consider that molestation. You know what I mean? Because I was a little bit more. I was okay with it. You know what I mean? I was like,
well, and
like,
also
yeah,
the
girls,
sex
I like
drive
girls.
was awakening you.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But you do notice that, you know what I mean? There are some older girls who like, you know what I mean, like younger, you know what I mean, a boy a little younger than them, you know. But
Right.
but like, I agree, dude. I don't know how people can look at a child and want to hurt them, you know
And
what I mean?
sexualize it.
Yeah.
Like, so I was 5 and it was an older girl and she was like 13.
Right.
And so that happened a couple times. And then I became sexualized.
Mm-hmm.
And then in second grade, there was these 5th grade girls that I used to fool around with at the daycare thing. So it's like,
Right.
it's like who's to know like how
No.
what that did, you know?
Right. And kids do that stuff, dude. I remember when I was in 5th or 6th grade, there was this girl, and we like, a bunch of group of us would play, and like I didn't realize at the time it's something I actually like realized recently, looking back into my life. But like we would play, and like she would kind of like not host, but she would like initiate this game where it was like captives or prisoners, and like the boys would be prisoners, and like we'd be bound and tied up right on the floor, and then she would like fucking punish us by rubbing her butt in our faces and stuff, dog. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, before I thought I was like, this is a little weird game, whatever. But now I'm looking back, I'm like, wow, I wonder where she learned that from or why she was doing that.
Right.
You know? But,
for sure. And
yeah.
I remember thinking like, so my entire experience up until I started doing therapy, I thought, well, it was just a sexual experience. I was 5.
Yeah. And
then I started doing therapy. It goes, okay, well, I want you to picture yourself as a 5-year-old. Picture yourself, but you're not him. You're looking at him.
Right.
And then picture a 14-year-old girl.
You would sympathize with him, yeah.
Touching him, and then tell me what you feel. And I felt anger.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if I walked up on that, I would fucking
end it.
I would end it and start fucking thrashing the room and shit, and fucking getting like livid. Like what the fuck? And so it was like, that's what opened my eyes to be like, okay, it was a super negative thing.
Right.
And
it is. That, and it's impacted you in some way. You know
yeah, for sure. Oh, tons of ways. And but as a man, you don't get to discuss these things.
Right.
You have to go to therapy.
Right.
In order to get it off your chest.
Right.
Or to have your eyes open up to it.
Right.
For sure.
Because, you know, when people see little girls, they're on the defense all the time. You know what I mean? Like, we got to keep this girl safe from. Don't let her go with strangers, strange man, strange here. You know what I mean? Always know where she's going, to school, parents, family, whatever. And they don't always think that about boys. I'm sure they do. You know what I mean? But they don't. And unless it's like about like the Catholic Church and stuff like that, like, oh, don't let them buy a priest. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But when I have kids, I'm gonna be very open about that stuff from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this may happen. It may happen by an adult. It may happen by another child. You know what I mean? Just be aware of what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
don't try to separate yourself from it.
Right. Know that this is what's happening. Like, hey, this is not cool. We shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be talking about this, or you know what I mean?
Reach out to an adult.
Right.
First chance you get. And it's just one of those things.
From the beginning, dude. As soon as they can talk, I want to start. You know what I mean? I don't want to shy them away from sex and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because we're humans, we're mammals. You know what I mean? Kids do have some like urges. You know what I mean? Babies masturbate in the womb. You know what I mean? But so it's just, and if it's, I feel like if it's like taught and not encouraged, but if it's like taught and they're aware of it, they're exposed to it, there's less chance of them having negative consequences if something happens, you know what I mean? Because it's not repressed and closed off and, you know, something they're ashamed of and scared of. And they can combat it if they get a chance to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's weird how ugly the world can be sometimes.
Oh, yeah, dude. Horrible. That's why I go back to my earlier thing. Like, I think humans aren't innately evil, but I don't think we're automatically, by default, good.
Right.
You know?
And I feel like people that have been molested go one of two ways, dude.
Right. They repeat the cycle. Or
they fucking they go the opposite. They regress, or not regress. They fucking get repulsed by it, and they identify shit like that too.
Right.
And it's weird. I was talking to a buddy last night about it, and his buddy's got kids. And he's kind of a lousy dad, but his daughter's like. You can tell, bro.
Right.
You can tell that girl has.
They show signs.
She shows those signs. As a girl, she's very, very paranoid socially, and she struggles to make eye contact with men.
Right.
And there's like a lot of stuff there, and it's just like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And it's just like she's a target. It's gonna keep happening to her. And I don't know, it's fucked up. But
no, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things. So yeah, you brought into this world pure in some senses, and then we're diluted by our surroundings, bro.
Right. And that's why also I don't feel too offended when like when if you like you don't know women or you don't know people and they're just being cautious around you. Like they're like, well, you're a strange man, you know what I mean? I don't want to walk alone with you on a street, or I'm not gonna leave you alone with my kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, personally, like subjectively, like, oh, that kind of hurts my feelings, you know.
Right.
But I'm also like, yeah, do whatever you got to do to be safe, feel safe. I would do the same thing. I tell my kid the same thing. Like, I don't care. I don't know that man. Don't go alone with them. You know what I mean? He could be the fucking nicest person in the world, but why put yourself in a situation where something can happen? You know?
For sure. And it's just also like, if I'm not paying attention, I'll kind of social. I'll be like, oh, I'm 8 years old still.
Right.
Like I'm still like a kid. And then I'll be like, hey, you want to go for a walk?
Right.
Or hey, I'll walk you to your car, dude.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, and then you walk by a mirror and you're like, oh, dude, I'm this fucking 400-pound tattooed guy with fucking facial hair and a scowl on his face. Right. Like I'm a little terrifying.
Intimidating.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm not a fucking kid. Like that John Mulaney bit, and he's like racing after that chick in the subway.
Yeah.
He thought, oh, she could feel the train coming. Yeah. And so he's running after her. And then she starts getting faster, and he's like, "Oh shit, we're running now!" And then he catches up to her. He's like, "What's up?" Right. And he's like, "Oh no! I'm not gonna rape you. I'm a little boy. Right. I'm not a man."
But it's hard out here for men, but it's hard for women in that regard. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? They have every right to be on the alert because that shit happens all the time. You know, like there's that whole like men are trash. It's like, yeah, a lot of them are.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of them will hurt you. You know, and if that's the game we have to play, where like you might consider me as someone who might do that just to keep yourself safe, fine, do it. You know what I mean? Right. It hurt my feelings, but whatever, I'll get over it. You know what I mean? It's better than you being harmed, for any reason. But
yeah, and it's also like that. I was actually thinking about this the other day, like when women say, "Why can't I dress however I want?" Right. They say, "What were you wearing?" This and
right.
That.
Yeah, that victim blaming stuff.
It's a victim blaming stuff, and there's obviously you shouldn't blame the victim, but there's like a lack of like there's a lack of what's the word I'm looking for of what's the damn word? It's like it's naivety. Right. You're being naive on purpose. Right. It's like damn well.
You're excusing it.
You dress a certain way, you make yourself a target.
Right. And for attention. Doesn't mean you should be hurt.
Right, but see, that's just it. We both know men out there that are fucked up, and there's nothing you can do about them. They're still out there. Right. So, as a father, my job is to protect you from getting attacked.
You want to limit it as much as you can.
Getting attacked by dogs, mountain lions, chickens, whatever, squirrels, and strange men. Right. So, I got to teach you ways to avoid getting attacked by mountain lions. Right. Don't go out in the woods at night. If you see dogs, if you see a weird dog and a dog's kind of crazy, climb on top of a car. Just like little things. If you want to avoid getting attacked by a man, don't make yourself a target. Right. Don't initiate the lust. Right. In an evil person that you can't help whether he's there or not.
Right. And I agree with that to an extent because you want to limit the possibility of something happening, but if someone's gonna hurt someone, they're gonna hurt them because then that shit goes down in part of the country, in part of the world where they're fully garbed. You know what I mean, from head to toe. They'll only show their eyes. You know what I mean. It still goes down, but I think here in the West, it's just the way we look at sex and the way it's stigmatized and stuff like that is just, you know what I mean? And like, I think it goes both ways. Like men need to also be raised to learn, you know what I mean? To like, hey, don't, you know what I mean? Don't lose control of your urges, or just because someone's dressing a little provocative doesn't mean, you know what I mean?
Right. But we're talking about people who probably fucking smoke meth around their kids. Right. I'm not saying that's probably a bad example, but I'm saying in terms of speaking towards the fucked upness people are. And I remember when I was in rehab and the psychologist is telling us about how her mom used to pimp her out for heroin. Yeah. She was like 8 to grown men. It's just like, okay, so that stuff exists.
Some people don't stand a chance.
So that stuff exists. There's nothing you can do about it. And so all you can do is to protect what's yours. Right. And teach them how to be safe. Right. It's like when you're going out to the woods and you're camping and shit.
You don't want to get bit by mosquitoes. So
there's things you got to learn how to do. You got to have precautionary things in order to ensure your survival to a certain extent.
Right.
Raise your percentages of surviving. So if those men are out there and they're doing fucked up shit anyway, your best bet is to not be out there.
Right.
So, I mean, you can go hang out with your friends. And it's weird, like, I see my dad, how he is with my sisters a little differently. And it's just like, yeah, it's like, yo, yeah, don't wear that. My dad be like, you're not wearing those shorts. Put something else on. And like, it's
right.
You're like, okay.
Right. And it's upsetting, but I feel like the intention's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same reason why you hang your meat in the tree so you don't attract bears.
Right.
It's like you don't fucking hang your butt cheeks out of your shorts while you're going out in the downtown and shit.
Right.
Because you're attracting bears. You're attracting fucking evil dudes. Man.
But, you know, the way we're moving now is that, you know, it's like, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for them, but like they want to like reclaim their, not status, like, but like their sexuality. It's like, you know, if I want to go and fucking show my titties to everyone, I should be able to without being attacked. You know what I mean? But
but when you get attacked, whether it's your fault or not, you're still gonna suffer the consequences.
For sure.
You're still gonna suffer, and it's like I think about that when people get in car accidents, whether it's your fault or not, you're still paralyzed.
Right. Yeah.
You might have all this money, but you're still paralyzed.
Right. It's still very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Right.
But this world's kind of a fucked up place.
Right. Because like I'm not a woman, but like if I was, I wouldn't want to live in a life of fear all the time, worried, you know what I mean? Walking to my car, to the parking lot, you know what I mean? Going to the store alone. That just seems like it gets very old. Like men we have our problems too, you know what I mean? But like, it's never really our safety. We'll kind of not sexually attacked in that way, you know what I mean? Someone might try to rob you or if you're at the bar drinking and some dude tries to get crazy with you, you know what I mean? We have stuff like that where like they're not going to do that to women mainly. Most of the time, you know what I mean? People aren't going to like get crazy on a woman. But,
right. But at the same time, every single living thing on this planet fears death constantly.
Oh, yeah. Harm, death, injury.
That's just a part of being alive. Is you, and we separate ourselves from the animal kingdom. Right. At least we're trying to. But really, we're much a part of it as anything else.
For sure.
Living in fear is you're not supposed to eliminate the fear. You're supposed to get used to it.
Right.
And thrive in it.
Right.
Because the fear is always going to be there.
Right.
Whether you take that fear away, then you develop a fear towards something else.
Right.
I think that's where anxiety and depression come from.
And then like you and I probably have a different outlook at because like we've trained in some kind of martial arts throughout our life. You know what I mean? So like we're kind of not anticipating it, but like I'm not saying we're always ready for something, but we you know what I mean? We're a little bit more of like, okay, if it happens, it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can do what I can do.
Yeah. There's an innate realization how possible and how real it is.
Right.
And how it can turn on like that.
Right.
And it can be in a totally fucked up situation.
Right. Because even time I'm in a new place, I'm always like, it's not like, I'm like, if this guy does this, I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? But I'm aware. I'm like, okay, there's 5 guys right here. They're friends. If something happens, this is going to happen. Here's something I could use. You know what I mean? You just walk in knowing.
There are 5 guys walk into this diner.
Right.
I'm with my girl and it's 2 a.m. and
right.
we're fucked up.
Right.
We're going to avoid that table.
For sure.
Any fucking possible way.
Right.
We're going to walk around the long way around the bar. I'm going to sit facing that table. I'm not going to sit with my back to them.
Right.
Because it's like, what if they get a wild hair up their ass? And
they probably will.
The car, and they don't like the way I look, or they like you, and they want to holler at you. And
or they were just having fun with one another.
Right. And then they'll be disrespectful towards you.
And the joke turns into a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just natural. Like, it's a fucking thing. So you got to avoid these things. And it's a little fucked up. Like, if you see a fucking bear track, and it's a fresh track,
you're out.
It's snow, and you're like, okay, well, we're not going that way.
See a bear cub, I'm gone.
Bear cub, yeah, dude. Yeah. You see a bear cub, you stand still, and you assess where the fuck the mom's at, and you take a good look.
Step backwards.
Step back slow and keep eye contact. Not eye contact, but keep an eye on them where they're at.
Right.
And get the fuck out of there. It's fear is something we cannot avoid.
Right.
So we have to find a way to overcome that fear.
Right. I agree. I guess we just have different things to fear. You know what I mean? I've never had a fear of someone abducting me or someone trying to touch me. You know what I mean? And I don't know what life would be like if I did that. My fear is when I'm walking out, this was going to try to rob me. You know what I mean? That's mainly it. When I'm by myself at night, this guy's going to try to rob me, so I'm going to have to get in a fight. I might get stabbed. You know, it's never like it's going to rip my clothes off or something. You know what I mean? And it's usually like an even playing field if it's another guy. It's like, okay, I can't imagine what if it's like a girl who doesn't train in any kind of martial arts. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, I'm a weaker person. This person can overpower me immediately, you know? But Yeah, I don't know how I would live life. I would definitely avoid places. You know what I mean? I try to be smart about it. You know, and I wouldn't be like too prideful. Like I should be able to go wherever I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's where my thought process is coming from. Like,
Right.
Like I should do whatever I want, and there should be no consequences.
In a perfect world.
Yeah, in a perfect world.
But we don't live in a perfect world.
Yeah, that world's fucked up, and you know it very much so.
Right. More than us, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, as a woman, you know how fucked up it is. You're being naive, and you're being malicious and trying to ignore that.
Right.
And trying to be like prideful about it.
Right.
And trying to separate reality and what's fiction and what's truth.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I don't have any room to talk, which is probably true. I don't, but as someone who understands what survival is,
right,
and I can look at it through that perspective.
Right. It's just different when, like, survival in this regard, but then when you're when your emphasis is on survival from a sexually motivated attack. You know what I mean? That's a little different. I feel like that's something we don't really have to deal with all the time.
No.
You know, we may deal with like some harassment, some old lady pinching my butt or something like that. You know what I mean? Or some girls hitting on you, not being able to take a hint, and then, you know what I mean, you turn them down, they get mad. You know what I mean? But guys do that shit too.
Right. When you get hit on by men,
right?
It's playful.
Right.
It's
right.
never
Right.
threatening. It's never like
harm. Yeah.
A threat to your life.
Right.
Because I can't imagine if some dude hit on me and I was like,
he's like being dude, very pushy and
like,
shit.
What the fuck, bitch?
Yeah,
like,
that's right. That's very true. That's
You're
never happened.
better than me, bitch.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Right.
But a woman can't be like,
right.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck this guy up. No, she's like, okay, I need to fucking separate myself.
I'm not trying to piss him off.
I need to fucking go with a group of chicks and survive in numbers.
That's true. Because if a gay, you know what I mean? If a gay guy's hitting on me and they never get hostile with you,
right?
You know what I mean? And you never really get angry with them. And I'm not worried about like, oh, I don't want to piss this man off. You know what I mean? Right. If I do, I do. I don't care.
And so all you were doing was sitting there,
right?
And now you're in this fucking weird situation where now death is possibly on the table.
Right.
It's now a real possibility.
Right. Or just a punch. You know what I mean? Or you're some kind of physical harm.
Yeah. So I think all women should wear like hijabs or whatever.
Yeah. Right,
the
dude.
Polyester black fucking snow
Stay
suits.
home in the kitchen.
Kitchen.
You can't get raped if you're out. Fuck, I'm gonna get
you can't get raped if you're pregnant with barefoot in the kitchen.
God, you should have never got off the molested bus, dude.
You never got off the molested bus, dog.
It already happened once. Then you fucking want to happen twice? Jesus.
What was the kid wearing?
Pokemon shirt.
Batman shirt.
Yeah. Oh, damn, dude.
Oh, man.
We just live in a different world now, man. And for the better, I feel like it's pros and cons, you know what I mean? People are a lot more aware about sexual violence and stuff like that, and how we can prevent it and stuff like that. But it's also, I feel like, shit gets out of control, you know what I mean? So like, you say hello, beautiful. It's like, it's harassment. Maybe in a workplace, you know what I mean? But fuck,
maybe
not a horrible person. Because
maybe there are attempts to keep from that situation. The guy's like, well, fuck you, bitch.
Right.
Maybe those are just like, don't say that, because you're initiating and creating the situation.
Right.
So they're like, the best way to avoid it is to nip it from
immediately.
Keep it from happening.
Right.
Keep it from starting.
And you have to be like, I feel like, I don't know, this may be dumb to say, but like, when they say a man's hitting on a woman at a bar or whatever, she has to like turn him down without pissing him off.
Right.
I feel like the same. I've gone in similar. It's different because I'm not scared of physical harm when I have the same situation with a woman. You know what I mean? Like, woman's hitting on you, or you want to end things. You know what I mean? You have to do it without pissing her off, because she can go on a tirade about you.
Right.
It's not like she's gonna piss me off and hit me. You know what I mean? Some women probably do, but like, I'm not worried about that. Like, if I'm not interested in a girl and I'm like letting her know, but I'm also still trying not to make her angry to escalate the situation. You know what I mean? Because in my experience, a lot of the women, like, when you're involved with one or you're talking to them and you want to end it, they have to make it, and this is very generalized, right? They have to make it like it was their idea. Like, oh, I'm the one who's ending this. When I'm the one doing it, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. It was fun. We were friends, but let's end it. And then they have to be like, you know what? You don't value my time. I'm gonna end it. It's like, I just said I'm ending it. Whatever you got to tell yourself.
It's a lack of humility for sure.
Right.
But what the fuck can you do about it? But like with the workplace thing, I think it's pretty easy to avoid those situations. Like, I don't date actor broads.
Right.
Actress broads.
Right. I think I'm done.
Yeah, dude.
I'll stick to singers. You know?
Yeah, musicians done.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I told myself in the start, I was like, I think it was, what was that show? The one with me and I did, Grapes of Wrath.
Grapes, yeah.
And it was that guy with the very punchable face was dating like 2 chicks.
Yeah.
And he was almost dating like 3.
Yeah.
And you're like, God, this guy's kind of an asshole.
Right.
And it's just like,
But he's getting his.
he's getting his, but he
Can't
can
hate
go
on him for
south
that.
so quick.
Oh, yeah.
And fuck everything up.
His whole life.
Not his whole life. Well, yeah, that too, but like fuck the whole show up.
Yeah. For some drama.
Now we got to cast 4 characters or 2 characters, and then, well, if they're not going to be here, if she's going to be here, if I'm going to be there, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. It makes things hairy.
For sure.
But, you know, I don't know. I feel like people could do whatever they want if they're not hurting anybody. You know what I mean? But.
So, speaking of scandals and shit.
Right.
How are things going with yours?
A lot better in my opinion. You know what I mean? I've gotten over it. It's been about a year, a little over a year, you know, but I think I'm a little bit more fortunate because this person has burned bridges, and it's not the first time, you know, I'm not the first person they've said things about, you know what I mean? And I feel like if, like, say we're in the community, right? And say, I think it's gotten to the point to where they try to make me look bad to the community, and they did. But they also made themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like he's bad, I'm good. You know what I mean? Kick him out, I'm fine. It's like, oh, we kind of don't want to fight with both of you guys.
So I've never really understood what happened.
Right. Okay. So I'll see how I get into it.
I've never really even asked anybody.
So there was a person who from, I'd say...
Were you guys dating?
No. So that's the thing. We were not dating. But we were friends, and we hooked up like 4 times. 4 times, right, over a time period. And
what's the time period?
I'd say
from the first time to the last.
January 2019 to April of 2019, right?
So 5 months.
5 months of just on, you know what I mean, here and there. But the first 2 times were in January, and the last 2 times were like in March, April-esque, right? But this person, before I knew it, it just started getting I cut it off, right? Because it got a little too, this person was getting a little possessive. They had fantasies that we were dating, you know what I mean? Like they would like go online and just say like, make it seem like we were a couple. Like we did this, when it'd only be like, we'd hang out and then they'd give me a ride home. And then that'd be that. And then another time they'd give me a ride home and we'd hook up or we'd do something, right?
Right.
And then, but they were like putting it on that we were like a couple, we were a thing, you know what I mean? And so people were telling me, like, yeah, I thought you guys were dating. It's like, no, dude, no, we were not dating at all. And I was very clear about it. But when I ended it, this person just flipped the script on me and was just like, he's a bad person. He hurt me. He did this. He abused me. He assaulted me, you know? But then also...
Try to get a little closer to the mic.
But also after that, they would post things like how much they miss me and stuff like that, you know? So it just got a little weird. But to go in depth, we would do plays together. And when I started noticing that it was going weird and south, is that this person would tell other people not to text me and talk to me because it made them jealous, you know? And then she would tell people not to give me rides home because they wanted to be the one to give me a ride home. And like, even when it got to the point to where like someone else would stay the night at my house because they lived out of town. And so we'd be at rehearsal and then they just give me a ride home, right? Because we're both going there anyways. It got to a point where they told him like, hey, don't give him a ride home because I want to do it. And then I'd get ready to go with this person. Like, all right, man, let's go to my house. And they'd be like, oh, I can't. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, you're not spending the night anymore or whatever. So then this person would give me a ride home. And then my friend would tell us, dude. And we both arrive at my house, and I'd be like, I thought you weren't, what is going on? You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, whatever.
And your friend's got a look on his face or
and
something?
Then, yeah, and then this person lived on the other side of town, you know what I mean? So completely went out of their way just to give me a ride home. And that's like the first couple red flags. I was like, this is getting a little weird. And then I'd be with this person, another time this person would give me a ride home, and they would show me self-harm wounds on their arm, and they insinuated it's because I didn't return feelings and I didn't love them back or whatever, because they would tell me, it's like, they would message me that I love you and
Holy shit.
yeah, I love you, and I know you can't return the feelings, and I know this is all casual, physical stuff, but I still can't help but, you know what I mean, love you and stuff like that. And I was just like, this is getting a little too much. And then the final nail in the coffin was I was gonna go on a camping trip with a few friends for their birthday, and I told this person, like, hey, I'm gonna be gone. I can't text you for like 3 days, right? Whatever. And I'm going camping with these people that they knew, and then. Because girls were going, they got extremely jealous. But these girls were the girlfriends of my friends that were going. You know what I mean? So I was just like, well, I don't understand what's going on. And that's when I was just like, hey, I think we're done. I don't want to hook up with you anymore, anything like that. We're still friends. We can still hang out and talk and stuff like that. But I think like the physical stuff is done. And then after that, this part I didn't know until way later. But this person was claiming to be pregnant with my kid. Like a couple weeks pregnant, 7 weeks or something or whatever, right? Would post pictures like my baby bump, you know what I mean? I'm like, I didn't know this dude. But then when we were doing grapes, I would get anonymous letters to my house.
This is what was going on during grapes?
Yeah. I was not talking to this person during grapes.
Holy shit.
At all. Yeah, it was just like, I'm going to come in, you know what I mean? I'm going to come in rehearsal and do my thing and just like not acknowledge this person or whatever.
Dude, I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, that's how cool I played it, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't that affected because I was just like, it's done, right? Whatever. I could be professional, come in and do my play and do my part and leave, you know, without causing drama or be like, look, you know what I mean? But then I would get letters like apology letters, like, I'm so sorry the way things ended. I feel horrible, but I want you to know that I had this baby and I was going to name him this. And I was like, why this? I think this person thought that this was my middle name, but it's not, right? We share the same initial, it was the same initial. I was like, this is not my middle. I don't know why. I hate this name actually. And I remember saying that I fucking hate this. I think this is a dumb name, but they want
a dumb name and you're an idiot.
Yeah. And then I still ignored her. I just ripped up that letter and then went to fucking rehearsal. And then that went on. It was, this person would like get together with friends to just go to Denny's, and then they would dub the event as like a fuck Carlos VERA party, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, fuck Carlos, let's spread all these rumors about him. And my friends would text me like, hey, this person's over here saying all this shit about you. And then that's when I was like, I messaged that person, I was like, hey, what the fuck is going on? I don't care. I want you to stop, and I'm done talking to you for good. Like, it's no longer just like we're not friends, and it's no longer like we're not hooking up anymore. It's like, I don't want you in my life. So I blocked that person like on all my social media. And then it kind of, after that, I wasn't aware of what was going on until a year later. Well, no. And then we did the Shakespeare Festival, right? And I didn't know this happened until way later too, but they told both professors that I had hurt them and I had done this to them and then this to them and this, right?
Them? So it was more than, it was 2 women?
No, her. Oh. Right. And that I had done this to her and this and this and this. I didn't even know, dude. And I still got cast and we still did the plays. And again, the same thing. I come in and ignore this person and do my play or whatever, you know what I mean? For 2 of them. It was 2 plays that we would do. And even before that, we would do like summer plays at the space, you know what I mean? I had done like 9 plays with this person since they said I had hurt them, right? And then October comes around and I start seeing someone. And this person already had kind of beef with the person I was seeing, and then we started dating officially. And I was told that she got livid. She was pissed. She was angry, jealous, whatever. But she had a boyfriend at the time. You know what I mean? Like, why do you care about what I'm doing? But then, because of that, I feel like it prompted her to go on the attack on me, and then my girlfriend at the time retaliated. I didn't even know, dude. She had to tell me later. She's like, hey, I'm sorry I didn't tell you that this was going on. I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like, there's online battles and shit what you guys are having with one another. But anyways, that girl's boyfriend, his friend saw and then like talked to my girlfriend at the time, was like, what's going on? Like, this person's dating my best friend. Like, what's going on? And she would tell him. So then they kind of convinced him to break up with her. And then he did.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, this person's kind of losing it. You know what I mean? This person has this and this and this and this, and he ended up breaking up with her, and I feel like she blames that on me. But like, and then that's when she went on, and then the pandemic happened, and then we ended up breaking up, right? Because I cheated on my girlfriend, so whatever, we broke up, and then I think when she got the news of that is when, what someone told me is that they were on Twitter. and then they saw that someone else in town, unrelated to like Bakersfield Theater or whatever, unrelated to town, called out who their rapist was, and what's it called? And she was getting a lot of attention, and she's like, I'm going to do that too. This is what I was told, right? So I don't really know how true it is. So then she did, and then she tried to like throw me under the bus, saying that I had done this to her, when it wasn't true, right? Everything we did was consensual, and like she wanted to continue everything even after I cut it off. Even like, so I cut it off in April, and then I was told in October they had a Halloween party, and that she was going off how she just loved getting fucked by me in the back of a car, you know what I mean? Even after I had supposedly hurt her, right? You know what I mean? So just going off, and like she would post for months and months on like her fake Instagram, like how I miss you, I miss C. She would call me C. I miss C, and things could be different right now. She would post like baby shoes, like this could be us, we could be a family, you know what I mean? All kinds of this shit, dude. And then that's when, so it all happened last summer, is when she tried to expose me and stuff for all these things I did. And then it just kind of went a little haywire after that.
And then it became a little more public.
Oh yeah, that was her intention, is to make it public, right?
Oh, so the accusation that that went public was sexual assault.
Yeah, towards her. That I had like choked her, dude. That I choked her and I beat her. I gave her black eyes, dude. I was beating her up while we're having sex, I guess. Yeah, I was beating her up. That I fucking pinned her against the car window, dude, and calling her a slut and a bitch and my little whore or whatever. And jeez. Yeah, dude. I was like, whoa, dog. And then, but the date she's saying that might have happened was like the second time we hooked up. So we had sex 2 more times after that.
Right, and I know that they say that just because you guys had been sleeping together afterwards doesn't mean that.
Right, for sure. Right. But do you think she would stuck around if I was beating her up while we're having sex and choking her and fucking?
Well, as women that had suffered abuse relationships, usually they do stick around.
Right, but we weren't in a relationship.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So we were
so
friends.
You guys are just friends, and you hooked up a couple times.
Yeah.
And
she wanted to be more than friends. She wanted to be my
idea.
baby's mother and fucking my wife, or who knows. Well, I don't know what she wanted. But, this person is also mentally ill. And I'm not the first person that she's had accusations about, you know what I mean? When we did KSF, there's another person she was seeing. It was also in the Graves, and
he was?
Yeah.
Punchable face guy?
No.
I have to say his name.
He was new and quiet.
I know you're talking
yeah,
about. You said it sounded like Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
New
and quiet, and he didn't like me, so we didn't get along. But because they were dating, so I'm sure she was telling him all the stuff about me. You know what I mean? So he would look at me like, I'm like, what, dude? What are you gonna do, dog? You're dating someone I used to hook up with. I don't fucking care, dude. But anyways, when he cut it off to be with someone else, she went on to
her rampage
to the dean. And was like, this person did this. He brought a gun to school, and he threatened me at school with a gun, and he almost broke my arm in the hallway at school. You know what I mean? During rehearsal. So everybody was already like, okay, girl, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So by the time it came around to me, people were already familiar that she had done this before. But even then, I'm not a fucking saint. I never hurt anybody. I never assaulted anyone. But, in my younger days, I will admit that what you can consider sexual harassment. I've messaged girls like, hey, let's go out. Let's do this. You know what I mean? And after the first time, if they say no, they're busy, and I keep asking, that's harassment. I'll admit that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've done that. So I'm guilty of doing that in the past. But I've never fucking hurt anyone. I've never assaulted anyone. You know what I mean? I never forced anyone to do anything. But
yeah. And I mean, how has the accusations affected you?
Some people automatically believed her. Like, they unfriended me, they blocked me and stuff like that. Other people reached out to me and was like, hey, what's going on? I give you the benefit of the doubt. I kind of already heard stories about her. I already know how she is, you know what I mean? And some people were like fully on my side. But also, like I mentioned before, the loudest are the most negative. Because they're the ones who are like out there, and the ones who are like with me or for me didn't want to publicly defend me. Like, what for? I don't blame them. Like, why would they want to go all online and be like, Carlos is not this person, he's a great person. So the loudness outweighed my support, I feel like. But it's also, when you're going through that stuff, it probably just seems a lot more amplified than what it really is. For the most part, I think people just don't care. You know what I mean? Like, people don't care about other people's business. You know what I mean? They hear, they're like, oh, and then they move on. But to you, it's the end of the world. You know what I mean? It's like, everybody hates me, nobody likes me anymore. Everybody thinks this way of me and stuff like that. So since then, it's just, I don't know. I haven't really seen a lot of people since then. So I don't really know how people feel. But what we do know is I feel like because it's happened, people would rather just stay away from allowing me to participate in the plays and stuff like that, you know,
Right.
just in case smoke comes out or they don't want the backlash, you know what I mean? So that's what it is.
So you haven't been able to land a.
Well, I
land a
did
show.
last year. I did a Zoom play, and me and that girl both got cast as the lovers in the leads in it. And then, so it resurfaced because this person was like, I informed the directors that this person's done this to me, he's hurt me, and I refuse to work with him, and then they let me go, which isn't the case. They gave her the opportunity, like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? And then she said that I'm not going to do this play, but she went on live and said that the directors in this theater kicked her out to keep me on. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so, but since then, nothing else is, you know, but.
Dude, I had one conversation with her, dude. I knew that girl was out of her mind.
Yeah. And a lot of people do. And she is, which is sad. It's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But when it affects other people, I think it should be taken into consideration. You know, it's a factor.
Yeah, it's fucked up, but I mean, so you're going on this cruise to kind of separate yourself from the world a little bit, or?
From the town, you know what I mean? I need a break from the town. I think this town needs a break from me. You know what I mean? Because
that's fair.
Yeah, because you know, if even like my closest friends don't want me put me in their place because they're afraid of something happening, then what else can I do? What other options do I have? You know what I mean? If I can't fucking do a play with my friends, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you know, this isn't an incentive for me to go. I want to go for my own reasons.
I think it's a good decision. I think it'll probably open your eyes to what the world has to offer.
Right.
And like you said, you never really left Bakersfield for the most part.
Right.
So
right.
Going to check out cities like Seattle.
Right. What am I losing here? You know, I went to school here. I got my experience here. I did years of theater here. I got acting, directing, playwriting experience here.
Yeah.
I feel like to stay right now where I'm at, my level, would only kind of stagnate me and keep me on a plateau.
Yeah, especially with everything going on. It's gonna be it's gonna be work to work your way out of this little hole.
Right.
That you got yourself.
And it's just like what work do I have to do? Like who gets to say that like, oh, he's better. He's a better person now. You know what I mean? People who don't talk to me, who don't know me, you know what I mean?
Who don't
like
even take the chance.
Who dictates my growth? Who gets to say like, okay, we've decided that you're good. We want you back in our life. Well, I don't want to be in your life anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We want you back in our life, but you're on probation.
Right.
Yeah, you got to wear this ankle monitor and all this shit.
Right.
Like, what the already the relationship has to be over because of the way you took the accusation.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have my back.
Right.
And so now our friendship is going to have this thing where you're always thinking I was a little guilty.
Right.
So there can't be a friendship there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was mentioning to someone else, it's like they're like, well, maybe they'll want you back in your life one day. It's like, no, it's done. Mm-hmm. Like if we obviously weren't friends to that level, if it took this to end it, you know what I mean? Like, right. And like, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're ready for me to be your friend again? Thank you. Thanks, no, bro. Fuck you.
That's so great.
I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? The ones who are my friends stick around and the ones who weren't left, and that's life, you know?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate this had to happen, but this has really showed me who's my friend, who's my acquaintance, and who's someone I just did theater with and tolerated me. Or who always secretly hated me and waited for an opportunity to be like, yep, I knew he was a fucking asshole. Fuck him, you know what I mean?
Dude, that's wild that you
a lot of that happened. A lot of that happened, dude. Well, I was like, dude, I thought we were friends. You know what I mean? We shared a lot of memories, and then because you want to sleep with this girl, you want to fucking be Mr. White Knight. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I knew he was an asshole. Hey, you want to hang out? You know, like, yeah, there's a lot of that going on too.
There's a lot of fucking weenies in theater, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of fucking weenies, bro.
Yeah.
And I like theater. I love doing it.
Right.
But sometimes I got to be careful. We have to be careful.
No, because we're a different breed, dude.
Yeah, we're a different breed.
And when we come in, it's noticeable. It's just like, what did you say? Why do you act like that? You know what I mean? Why aren't you?
Why do I like that? You're the one fucking saying dumb shit.
Right.
Nobody called you out on your dumb shit. You say, dog. You saying fucking. What you said was stupid.
Right.
They go, oh,
but straight guys are you know what I mean? The ones that everybody needs to look. We're noticeable. We stick out like sore thumbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then to be honest with you, I feel like I get along more with the gay dudes than the fucking other straight white weenie guys.
Yeah. I agree. Because they're just being themselves. I feel like the other weenie guys are they're performative.
Yeah,
they're trying to put on and act, and they're trying to act like they're this and then this and this, and
they're trying to friendship their way into some pussy.
Right.
Yeah.
When other people are just being real and authentic. So like, but this whole scandal thing is also, I mentioned this to you before, but it's also made me a lot more confident in myself, and then how I know my place now in town. I know my place in my, you know what I mean? I know my status and I know what it is. And I just come in expecting everybody to hate me. I'm like, cool. Before I'd be like, okay, Carlos, don't say something stupid. Don't be mean, whatever. Don't give people a reason to hate you. But now I'm like, you already do. Yeah. So if I come in and you hate me, fine. I expected that. But if you want to be cool with me, we can be cool. We could work together. We could talk and joke around. But like when I saw Servant to Two Masters, I just heard recently, I just had a conversation with someone the other day, and they told me that I rub people the wrong way for showing up. And I'm like, who?
Just for showing up?
For showing up. They're like, well, people think you should just lay low and not be involved and stuff like that. I'm like, who did I rub wrong? And I thought about it. I was like, oh, because my ex was there and her group of friends. I was like, fuck that. Get over yourself. Like, I have no problem. I have no gripe with her or whatever. But like, you think I should leave because you're uncomfortable? This is a fucking public space. You leave.
This isn't your house, bitch. I'm not at your house.
You leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you feel that way enough to where it's unbearable, you can get up and leave. I shouldn't have to be the one to fucking leave. Right. You know what I mean? This is my friend's play. The majority of the cast wants me here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I have more of a place here than you. Like, get the fuck out. Get over yourself. Like, what kind of entitlement, narcissistic shit is that? You know? But I thought it was crazy when they told me this. Like, you rub people the wrong way. I was like, who? Why?
For sitting down.
I didn't talk to him. Yeah, right. Yeah.
You were like in the middle of the show, just like double fingers the entire show.
Right, right.
So you're just sitting there laughing.
Minding my business.
Yeah.
Came to support my friends. They wanted me here. Like the cast came out to see me when fucking everybody was done. You know what I mean? Like you, John, Scott, Spirit, Ivan, Maya. I was like one of the first people that, you know, people just kind of congregated to. But
yeah, because I mean, I think you came to one of the shows where like everybody's family here already seen,
right?
People's friends already gone,
right?
So you're like, oh, hey, Carlos is here, dude. I'm gonna say hi to him.
Yeah. It's like I'm not like unwanted and welcome here. You know what I mean?
Fuck. Yeah, dude. It's fucking.
I thought I was. Yeah, dude. I went on a rant when I was talking to this person, but they were also like agreeing with the other side. They're like, well, you know what I mean? If you make people uncomfortable, I was like, get the fuck over yourself. Get over yourself. I didn't hurt this person. I didn't assault this person. Like, say I did, okay, maybe I would have get it. It's like, oh man, I assaulted this person. Maybe I shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? But like, no, we just broke up for our own reasons, our own relationship reasons. You know what I mean? And of course, our friends are gonna back her up and defend her and stuff like that and validate her. But fuck no, get over yourself. Get the fuck over yourself. Yeah, dude. But that's the kind of shit I feel like I have to deal with. You know what I mean?
It's never gonna end, dog.
No, I know. And I'm cool with that.
You keep dating actresses, dog.
Right. And I'm cool with that. Like, people are like telling me like, you should just take the L. Just take the L.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm allowed to do whatever the fuck I want. And because I have this attitude, people think they're like, well, you sound like you're not remorseful, or you sound like you're not trying to change, or like, you don't get to dictate what I fucking do. Right. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I want for my health and my mental health and my peace. You know, I'm not fucking hurting anyone. Most
important, for sure.
Right. And just because I'm coming in, just because I have this confidence and this attitude, doesn't mean I'm fucking a jerk. You know, and we want to come in like, hi guys, I'm sorry, I was a bad boy. Can I play?
Let me clean your guys' shoes
right.
for you.
Like, fuck you. If you're uncomfortable, leave, bro. Get out of here. I don't know. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at you. You know? But
you gotta draw a line in the sand, dude. You gotta be, okay, how much am I willing to participate?
Right.
In your...
But people want me to admit shit I didn't do. It's like, I didn't fucking do this, dog. I'm not going to admit something I didn't do. It's like, well, it sounds like you're not trying to grow. It's like, fuck you. You admit
sounds like you're not trying to grow.
Yeah.
So then I'm guilty.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
In your eyes,
but no
I'm guilty.
Right. But they won't tell me that.
Right.
You know?
No, I'm just saying. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It would be easier on you if you just like apologize.
Right. That's what they want.
I'm just like, what the fuck, dog? I thought you're my friend, bro.
Right. And you know, I'm not fucking stupid, and I'm not trying to hide anything. Like, I admit this, like I just did. Like, you know, I'll admit the stuff I've done, but I'm not gonna fucking accept the things I didn't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I'm not a fucking saint. You know what I mean? But I didn't fucking hurt anyone. I've never fucking assaulted anyone. You know what I mean? But you know, yeah, there's some times in my youth I grew up kind of like you get at girls. You know what I mean? You do what you can to get at girls. You try to get yours and stuff like that. But and is it right? Maybe not. You know, maybe there's a line where like, hey, she's not interested. I got to move on. And I did that. This is stuff I did years ago, but because of the recent scandal, other people are like, well, Carlos used to message me, he used to do this, he used to do that. I was like, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. Fuck. What am I gonna do? That was years ago. I haven't done that shit in like 4 or 3 years. You know.
Right, and it can be chalked up to a young man trying to figure out how to talk to girls.
Right.
Yeah.
And so some people give me the benefit of the doubt, but also people are just like, no, this is no fly zone. We're done with this. Men are trash. You know what I mean? This is what we need to exclude from our community, and whatever, you're gonna feel the way you want to feel. But
it's like this. What can you fucking do besides go on a cruise for 28 weeks?
Right. Well, it was hard at first, dude. When it first came about, I just got tired of being called this or creep or assault. You know what I mean? Like
to your face or online?
Online, because it was middle pandemic, so nobody was calling this to my face, and nobody will to this day. I guarantee you that.
Oh, for sure.
No one will to this day. It's always hush hush.
So what'd you do with the online stuff? You get rid of it?
Yeah, I got rid of it. I got off Facebook and stuff for a while, but just seeing this and hearing this and thinking, you know, because I'm trapped in my room, in my house, and in my mind. So like there was a time where I almost killed myself. Dude. I fucking was in my bathroom with a huge ass kitchen knife, and I was just like, I don't know how I could move forward from this. It wasn't rational thinking. It was purely irrational. You know what I mean? But like I'm done. You know what I mean? But like everything I worked for is gone. It's just swept from under me because of this girl. Damn, you know,
she almost took your life, dog.
Yeah, dude, she did. Well, I mean, it would have been me, but yeah. So there was a part where it got really dark, you know, for a long time. But since then, I never wanted to feel that way again. So I've been wanting to improve myself for my own reasons, right? Not so I can be fucking accepted in the community, whatever.
Right. So
you know,
overcome the demon inside
yourself.
I'm
doing it for me. You know, I'm doing it so I can say I'm this type of person. And I'm doing it so nobody could ever, I'm not giving anybody any room or reason to say that I'm this type of person, you know?
Yeah.
But, so since then I've been trying to be on an upswing and just improving myself, but.
Have you had suicidal thoughts before?
Before that? No.
Never?
Yeah, no.
Mm. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Right. And I almost did it, dude. But I was just like, fuck, I don't know if I could do this, you know what I mean? But it was a little crazy.
Yeah, the bathtub's definitely considerate.
The what?
The bathtub's a considerate place to do it.
The toaster?
Yeah, well, the bathtub, you know, it's like
right.
Just in the shower on it would be pretty quick cleanup, you know.
Right.
That's I don't know, suicide's a fucking
suicide,
no joke.
I thought about my family, my nephews, and stuff like that. But
yeah. It's always like it's definitely never the answer.
Right.
But it definitely feels like it sometimes.
Oh, dude, I felt like it was the end of my world, man. And like, it's stupid, right? It's really petty, but like you see your friend list get smaller and smaller. You see people blocking you. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck. Like,
dude, I didn't even know you're going through this.
Yeah. Well, you know, I tend to keep shit to myself.
Well, until it was like serving the two masters.
Right.
And I saw you, and then it wasn't a big deal. We got with the chat, and you had mentioned it a little bit.
Right. Well, someone else talks about it fucking a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who. Fucking Santo. Because his name relates to Santo, but
Santo.
The fucking Holy Ghost, dude.
Oh yeah.
But that person, every time I'm gonna bring it up too, but every time I see that person, is fucking always brings it up, dude. Or he's always got to tell me how he was talking to someone who doesn't like me. He's like, I don't fucking care, dude. Like, you're the only one who's talking about it. I feel like you're off around people bringing it up. People are trying to move on and live their life, and you're like, hey, what about this thing with Carlos? Can you believe that? He's my friend. I love him. Like, dude, shut up. Stop talking about it. I think you're making it worse. And
did you confront him about it?
I'm going to. Not yet. I'm going to. Before I leave, I want to. Like, hey, man, while I'm gone, don't fucking talk about me like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't care, because you're bringing it up to people who don't even know, you know? But
yeah, man. It's probably something you should have nipped in the butt the first time you noticed it.
Right, like it's only been like 2 times where it's just like, yeah, I was talking to someone, they mentioned how they didn't like you for another reason, not because of this. I'm like, still, dude, don't fucking. Why are you talking about me, dude?
That's a weird thing to even just bring up to anybody. Hey, I found a guy who doesn't like you. It's like,
right.
Okay,
it makes me wonder. It's like, dude, are you like a secret hater? Like, do you get off on this? Does it make you feel better about your situation? You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
But
yeah, dude, I'm sorry you're going through all this shit and going through it alone, man.
Yeah, that's what it really was. I did really go through it alone. You know what I mean? There are a few people I would talk to about it, but you know, and it makes you a little paranoid. You know what I mean? Because like, once it's out there on the internet, you can Google it. So I feel like if people Google my name, they see that, you know what I mean? If people I apply for jobs, they Google me, do a background check, they can see that, you know what I mean? But
So it's people were like wrote articles about it or what?
no, on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah, and you can Google if you put my name in Bakersfield, I think it pops up, you know. So all the listeners out there, if you want to see my case, just Google my name. Subscribe to my Patreon.
Follow me on.
Yeah,
get on my Patreon.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
But yeah, it was crazy, dude. But honestly, I feel like I'm at the end of the tunnel. I feel great. It doesn't bother me anymore. I'm ready to confront people. If people want to confront me, I'll be like, what? Think what you want to think. You know what I mean? Before I was just like really shy and scared. You know what I mean? Like, what do I do? People hate me, la la la. But now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And I think people hate me more for that.
That's a fucking
for having this attitude.
Beautiful way to. That's a beautiful attitude to have for
right.
sure, right?
Right.
Feel like
cancel me, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro. Yeah, dude.
Cancel me, bro. I'll go with the other canceled guys. Start our own shit or something.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you'll get a deep breath on Monday.
Right.
Once you get on the plane,
right.
and you leave, and you realize, okay, all that stuff existed almost in a land that doesn't.
The small little
if
fucking
I
town.
want to, it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'll come back and I'll try to change things up.
Sure.
But I'm gonna try at least. You know what I mean? And if it don't work out, it don't work out. But like, I'm not holding my head down in shame. You know, I'm not afraid to look people in the eye and be like, "What, dude? What do you think about me? I don't care. Think what you want. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me.
Think what you want
at all. You know?
Dude, you gotta be.
We were friends once. That was cool, but that's in the past now. Now I'm a different person. You're probably a different person. You know what I mean? Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's move on. You know what I mean? You don't want me to do your shit? I won't do your shit. You don't want me in your place? I won't be in your place. That's cool. I'll find somewhere else. I'll do my own thing. You know.
Theater is amazing. It's wonderful, but
right.
It's just one medium.
Right.
There's like a ton of different. You can fucking start painting.
Right.
Doing like a podcast or
right.
doing stand up. You can just fucking do stand up, and it'll because the theater community is so tight knit and so filled with kind of crazy people.
Yeah.
That it only the drama.
I feel like I never really belonged.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like way. I think it happened for a reason. Like the places that I can't be at. I never really fit there, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I had something to offer, but, you know, I've always just been a different person, you know what I mean? There's always been smaller things like, can't we Carlos say that? Can't we jokes around like this? He does this, you know what I mean? He's not on board with us about everything, you know what I mean? He's not fucking putting BLM in his Twitter bio, you know what I mean? He's not fucking doing this shit. Why aren't you putting Black Lives Matter on your stuff, Carlos? It's like, what the fuck? I'm not black, and like I support it, but fucking I'm not gonna be a white person and be like BLM.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? My black friends don't even do that shit, dog. You know what I mean? They fucking laugh at them. Like, I can't believe you.
Yeah, it's like me posting it is like gonna help me pay my fucking rent.
Right.
No, I got fucking my life to worry
about.
But
I have to fucking I have to wear it on my arm like a badge. Like, bro, if you ask me, do Black Lives Matter? Yes. You know what I mean? Do I have to fucking tattoo that shit on my ass for you to believe me or what?
Yeah.
I don't have white guilt, dude. I'm sorry. You guys deal with that shit. Deal with
we're
your
Mexicans,
own white guilt.
dog. We don't get white guilt, bro.
Yeah, for real, dog. Damn.
We just have fucking callous tongues, bro, from eating hot food too much, you know?
Mexicans have... I think Mexicans are just open and honest about the way they feel and shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
They don't filter shit.
Yeah.
And they like to bust balls, you know?
I definitely think you and I have a very similar perspective on our relationship with theater.
Right.
Yours is a little more advanced.
Right. With the community. The way people act in it.
Yeah, because it's just like... we grew up around our families,
right?
And then kids in the neighborhood,
right?
And then these people kind of grew up around their
right, and to bring back
families, dude.
To bring back the BLM. Like, y'all don't even know any black people. You know, like one black person. You know, I grew up around black people. You know, and I don't fucking put BLM all over my shit. You guys know like one black person who works at the fucking drive-through you go to and shit.
Yeah, and your fucking Filipino professor that's telling you all to believe all this shit.
Right, right.
I mean, it's just. It's weird, dude. It's weird to stick out like a sore thumb,
right? In
something that you like to do,
right? Well, but you know, I'm not like to bring up like conformer. I'm not a sheep, but like I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna fucking be a chameleon to appease you. You know what I mean? If I feel something about it, I'm gonna say it. If you don't agree with it, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? We can still be friends or not. But I feel like this climate is just like, well, if we don't agree, we're not friends at all. I'm cutting you out from my life. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, dude.
Adios.
Like the little bullshit I went through when I went to Escanaba.
Yeah.
And I know that's not going to be the last one.
Right.
because it was
Because you're gonna rub people the wrong way.
and it was exactly that. She was saying I was saying inappropriate jokes
Right.
around minors.
Right.
But really, it was because I was confronting her on her bullshit all
Right.
the time, and she used that. She was using it against me,
Right.
and it was just like a thing she was doing.
So how did you go through about that? You know what I mean? Did you feel like it put you back a little bit? Do you think did it bother you in any way, or did you just like not let it?
Well, it was weird. It was weird having everybody. So like, as a kid growing up, I was an annoying kid, and I always had friends that would stop being my friends. They were just like, "Oh, we don't like you anymore.
Right.
You're annoying. We don't like you anymore." So I'm used to people not liking me.
Right.
It's a totally normal fucking thing for me. So in the theater, it was weird seeing it with adults.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, well, we don't like you anymore. You're not cool. Nobody likes you," kind of thing. And
Yeah.
like, what the
It is
fuck?
childish, huh?
You're like, I wouldn't. Me going through that as a kid, I would never ever tell anybody nobody likes you.
Right.
Because I know how fucking painful that is.
Right.
It sucks to hear it. And it was just like, it felt cowardly.
Mm-hmm.
It felt very cunning. It felt very, I don't know, cowardly just is the right word. It was just like they were afraid to confront me about me confronting them.
Right.
That they went behind my back and they tried to make it seem like I was being inappropriate around minors.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, what? There's no minors in the show. There's one, and she's in the sound booth the whole time.
Right.
Everybody else is in their fucking 40s. So it was...
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And what sucked was I was guilty right away.
Mm-hmm.
It was...
That's the same thing here, man.
Yeah, I was guilty right away. And of
It's
course, the severity of my situation pales in comparison.
Right. But
to
people
yours.
think like, why would they lie? Why would they lie about you? But
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Ask them.
Yeah. And,
Ask them why she's lying.
and it was like, make an apology.
That's what they want, dude.
Yeah.
They want you to get on your knees, metaphorically. You
And
know
so
what I mean?
I was like, fuck you. I'm not going to apologize.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And then they started putting all that pressure on Hank.
Right.
And Hank's 83 years old, dude.
Right.
He's my friend. And so Hank called me and he got emotional. He goes, "Tino's not letting up. Please, for me, apologize."
Right.
I was like, fuck. All right, man. I'm not doing it because you asked me. I'm doing it because I don't want the stress on everybody else.
Right.
Because she's turning this experience into a terrible one.
Right.
And she was like trying to get other people to leave the show.
Yeah,
unless
so
they
that's
fired
where it's just like, what are you doing? This is community shit.
They were
like,
threatening to sue the theater. And if they
damn, I didn't
fired
know
me-
that.
Yeah.
Over what?
Over me making jokes.
Jokes?
Yeah. And so from a legal aspect, sure, it's like a fucking...
What's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
Yeah.
Snowballs.
Snowballs. Get the fuck out of here. And it was frustrating because I was like, fine, fuck it, I'll apologize. And then her husband is a fucking
Right.
weenie, and he was like,
Yeah.
because I confronted him as well because his breath stinks.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I was like, dude, his fucking breath stinks. So I walked up to him,
Right.
like after
So it was personal for
after
him.
we did a scene, and I was like, hey dog, you good?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, your fucking breath stinks, dog.
Right.
And it stinked the entire time I've known you.
Right.
You got like a fucking like an infection or something?
Tooth or something, dog.
Does he got a dead
That's what I think
tooth?
I have or something right now.
And he was like, no, and he kind of got like super offended. But I was like, dude, you being offended right now is nowhere near how bad everybody else is offended when they smell your
Right.
fucking breath, dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's his name was telling me that Spirit was telling me that he after that every day he would hear him crack open a Listerine bottle before rehearsals. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And it just
So at
like,
least he's doing something about it.
at least, yeah, and I didn't smell his breath anymore, so I felt like I was good. It was just
Right.
it was a trial.
Communication, man. You got to communicate.
Yeah, and it was, and then they were threatening to leave the show, trying to get other people to leave. They were going to sue.
Yeah, that's drama, dude.
And then I was like, fine, I'll apologize. And then I went. We had dinner with Hank, her and her boyfriend, and me. I said, you know what? You're right. Maybe I should be more careful about the stuff I say, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry.
Right.
And she was like, okay, no big deal, blah, blah, blah. She's like joking, like nothing's wrong anymore. Blah.
Right.
She got what she wanted. And then just hearing her talk was fucking pissing me off. So I was like, dude, I want to go, dog. I'm going to drink 12 beers and beat up her boyfriend. And so I was like, let's just get out of here. And then we left. And then she said that she didn't feel like the apology was sincere.
Damn.
So
dude.
she wanted
What
me
do they want?
she wanted me to apologize in front of the entire cast.
Oh.
And I was talking to Vicky, and Vicky was like, wouldn't she just like doing whatever this person told her to do? She was just like, okay, yeah, he did this for sure. And then I sat down with Vicky, and then I made it clear to her, dude. I got a little emotional. I was like, dude, you can't have my back either.
Right.
I was like, dude, I feel like I'm stuck in a corner and people are throwing rocks at me, and then you're just sitting there and you're, oh, I have to throw a rock too, I guess. And it's just like you're throwing rocks at me. Like, you're supposed to be here to help me out. I know not. Don't take sides. And then I was just like, this sucks. And people that I thought were my friends were like, oh yeah, he does joke around too much. You're right. Right. It's just like, yo, dude, you say gnarly shit too.
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Everybody's looking out for themselves.
Everybody's looking out for themselves. And then there was, and luckily, so I apologized and I fucking played it up, dog. I got a little emotional, and I made it about like, I don't know. I mean, I was like, hey, I'm sorry. When I was a kid,
I was the molested bus.
It's my fault because I was dressed provocatively.
My Batman chonies had a whole...
Batman chonies, dog.
Fuck, dude.
And it was just like, and I chalked it up, and I was just like, I did get a little chalked up because I felt very vulnerable, and I knew, and this might sound manipulative, but I knew in order for me to walk away from that triumphant, I had to be vulnerable.
Right.
I had to be able to open up.
That's what they want, dude.
Yeah. Well, not just because doing that would turn everybody against this particular person. And that's exactly what happened.
Like, oh, you're the bully.
Yeah.
You're the bully in all this. I see what's going on.
Yeah. And then so I've never had a problem with shows since.
Right.
I've been casted in great characters ever since.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. And I don't see her around at all.
She's done.
He's done, dude.
Yeah. Same thing with my person, dude. But we're both done, I feel like. You know what I mean? This person took me down with her,
Yeah, well, that's a big word, man.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And she knew that. You know what I mean? She achieved her goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her goal, she accomplished. You can say she won. I don't know. But I'm not beat up about it anymore. You know what I mean? I feel great. I think I feel better than I did before it happened. Because I was already at a low place. I was already trying to like fix things with my girl because I had cheated on her and stuff, So I was already like full of shame and guilt and weak, dude. I felt weak and codependent. You know what I mean? And those aren't attractive person. You know what I mean? It's not a good thing to feel. I was low, dude. It was a low point, and then I got hit with that scandal, and then even lower. But I had nowhere else. I couldn't go any lower, so I had nowhere else but to go up. You know what I mean? And now I feel great. I feel 100 times better than I did before it even happened. I feel like it sucked that it had to happen, but I feel it shaped my character, who I am right now, who I am today. Know? But
well, man, I'm glad you're not dead, bro.
Yeah, thanks. Me too, man.
Yeah, man. I know you don't hear that every day, but
right.
Yeah.
Right.
You just definitely deserve to live, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm not gonna stop. I'm still gonna do theater. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna have a lot of support like I did before, but I don't care. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you. Don't support my shit. Don't see my play.
Weenies, bro.
I'm a better actor than you. I'm numero uno actor mexicano, motherfucker.
I think deserves one of my favorite insults.
What?
It's the fucking laps, bro.
What?
Lame ass putos.
Lame ass putos, dog. Yeah. For real.
Lap, dude. It's fucking
right.
shit. Well, man, I'm glad you were able to come on and talk about
dude,
these
this
things.
Was fun.
Dude. Yeah.
First time doing something like this. It was a lot of fun.
We've done 2 hours.
Okay. All this is fiction, so don't cancel me in the future if I get a big Netflix.
Made up.
Yeah, if I get a big Netflix deal.
His name's not even Carlos.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Vanessa, dude.
Yeah, that's my sister's name, dude.
I know, bro.
Yeah. Does it say when I call you or what?
Huh?
Does it say that when I call?
Call what?
Well, your phone? You have my number saved, or does it say?
Yeah, it just says Carlos.
Because people say that it says Vanessa when I call them. They don't have my
it?
number saved? Yeah, because I'm on her plan and shit.
Right
like, who's Vanessa?
Who's Vanessa?
Girl, it's my sister. Relax.
You met her. Goddamn.
Yeah, all right.
Well, man, I'm glad here we get some things off your chest. So, we'll finish on this.
Okay.
So with recording a conversation like this, this might be, knock on wood, the last time, words of yours are heard.
Right.
What's something that you'd want to be said in case something were to happen to you? Something that you want to be heard.
Honestly, wait, repeat that?
What is something you want people to hear you say?
Wow. I don't know. That's really deep. I would say I guess the go-to is like advice. Give people advice. I would say just, be authentic to yourself. Be true to yourself. I know that sounds a little corny, but don't, especially in the climate we live in right now, especially if you do theater, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be on the same bandwagon as a lot of people, like politically.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? About whatever climate we're in right now. I would say don't feel like you need to adhere to stuff. Like if you feel that way and if you're on board already, that's fine. But if you feel like you're a little off, you're a little different, you know what I mean? Don't let it affect you. Don't compromise who you are to fit in a group. Even if it's something you want to do. But aside from that, life is short. It's precious. Good friends are, the most valuable. Your connections, who with people. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you need to make yourself happy. You need to do what makes you happy. Whatever lets you sleep at night. Something that you should strive for to do. That should be your biggest concern, is not live a life to where you're losing sleep. Whether that's because you're not, you're changing yourself, or you're doing things you regret, or, you feel like you're not being your authentic self to fit in a group. Right. I would say just be true to yourself. You know what I mean? As classic as that is, fucking Polonius from Hamlet right there. Some Shakespeare for you.
Heck yeah, dog. Shakespeare's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Don't be afraid to let yourself be yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that doesn't mean don't stop growing. Mm-hmm. Don't think that you're a perfect being who you are. And I'm never going to change. No, that's not what I'm saying. But do what's right for you. Just do what's right for you.
Well, thank you, man. Those are some wise words, man.
Yeah. Thanks. Dan, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you're able to come on and we got a chance to talk before you left. I do hope on this trip of yours you find what you're looking for. Not saying you're looking for something, but maybe even you find something that you didn't know you needed.
Right.
And I hope this life gives you everything you need and everything you deserve.
Right. Me too.
Yeah. Right on, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, man.
So today is September 18th, 2021. Signing off. Thanks for listening. Or not. I don't give a fuck.